you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
What's that, pal?
You're screwing just like a Chinaman.
We're recording in progress. Got it.
Got it. Welcome to my 98th episode, Mr. Michael Stone.
Thank you. Are you saying, are you welcoming me?
Yeah, you personally, the human that I'm talking to right now.
Or were you welcoming your audience? Welcome, you guys.
You can welcome the audience if you want.
I can welcome. Oh, that's so nice.
Sure, why not?
All right.
They're a motley crew, though. They're very disruptive.
Welcome, Brett's audience. We're glad to have you.
Okay, so
Yeah, motley crew, yeah.
Yeah, crew, yeah. You got a little Australian accent? Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah, motley crew, yeah.
Well, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're a very, very busy man. And I'd like to do, it's a very casual situation. We're going to do like a past, present, and future. First of all, I met you recently coming out of the Fish show, which was fucking amazing.
Yes. And it was my second Fish show ever. The first one was a year before. Same. No, the one a year before was at the Forum.
Oh, and how was that compared to this one at the Hollywood Bowl?
Well, actually, I liked the Forum because I felt like the energy was more contained and therefore amplified. And I think I was tripping on some mushrooms. And I was like, wow, this whole place is alive. The weird thing is I'm not even really a big Fish fan. Like, I never will just listen to them on my own. Just because, like, their vibe is, I don't know. But when you're at a live show, it's a totally different experience. Would you agree?
I would. I gotta say, when I told people I went to the Fish concert, they said, "Oh, what songs do they play?" I was like, "I don't know. They're all good."
I couldn't name one.
I mean, I said the second. You went on Sunday. Yeah, we went on the same night when I met your friends and your lovely lady friend.
Yes.
And then we had an after party here. But like, that was fucking amazing. That was great. I mean,
that was a great night.
I don't know the names of the songs, but they were fucking great.
I agree. Yeah, my friend, I bumped into my friend the next day, Evan. He stopped by, and he was just like, "Oh, what'd you do?" I was like, "Went to the Fish concert." He's like, "Oh, I love them," because I think he was at the show last year, but we were not sitting together. So it's like we were both dancing at this concert, but like we didn't actually interact with each other. Anyway, so he was like, do you remember, like, he actually phrased it like this. Do you remember one song in particular? And I was like, no, not even one. But I had a great fucking time.
Yeah, it was that energy. I mean, I went there, like, last time I saw him was like 15 years ago. I forget. That was wild. They did Sexual Healing as their closing song.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, they fucking blew the shit out of that thing, man. And the light show, incredible. Okay, so let's get Fish concert, great. They have I have their number. I'll always see them when I get a chance.
Yes, Fish, if you're watching, we love you, and we can learn your songs if we need to. But right now, we just love you as a jam band.
Same. So I'm gonna get into. You're a sketch performer, writer, director, but you also have another job that's that is your hobby.
Yeah, basically. Maybe my dream is to get into doing one or all of those things to make a living. But right now I have a job I'm a software programmer, developer, engineer. My job title is software engineer. And I work from home.
Okay, so that's what's happening right now presently. Let's go back to little baby Mikey.
Yes, I love little baby Mikey, and I want to know about little baby Brett too. I know you've probably introduced yourself a million times, but I have to get your. In the course of this interview, I think we need to get each other's full stories. Oh, Yellow Hat, yes.
I'm gonna match you too. I also did the titles in yellow and blue for the Ukrainians.
Yes, it's true. You have to show you that picture. I wore a yellow and blue suit to meet the previous Ukrainian ambassador
Oh,
just
we
the
got to
other
put that
day.
picture up right now. We'll put it. We'll edit it in right now if you
Did I
send.
send you? Did I send you that picture?
You know, I've been so busy, I didn't see your emails
I
just
don't
yet.
think I did,
I
but I
caught
think.
your film in Italy or something like that you did, where you're chasing people down and asking them questions. We'll probably show that video too.
Oh, nice. Here, I'll send you. I can send you that picture on my phone right now.
Well, I'm
Uh,
gonna do editing on this anyway, so I'll put it up after.
oh, okay.
This will be the point that we show
It's
it.
I just it's right here though. It's right here. Although the version I'm sending you is this is such a nice Mother's Day gift. Basically had this. It was a book signing, and I got the ambassador to sign a copy of the book that I'm going to send to my mom. And then I got a picture of me and her, and printed it out and like put it on the book, sort of. And then I'm going to mail it to her for Mother's Day, which is just coming up, guys. Don't forget to shout out to your mothers.
Mother is a boy's best friend.
That's right. Mother's a boy's best friend. So I'm sending her this book. By the way, this ambassador, she was the ambassador during the end of the Trump administration when, like, Trump and his people kind of did a smear campaign against her.
Why
while
would
she
they
was.
do that? Those are seem like such nice people.
I know they do seem like nice people, but I think they may have some nefarious ulterior motives. We need to we need to be alert and careful. Anyway, so she's kind of a hero. She testified at the first Trump impeachment hearing. She told her truth, and she was considered. She got fired then and then she wrote a book about it, and then she went on a book tour. And I guess what really brings this home is that I think my parents are, I mean, like Republicans. My parents are Republicans. And I guess I was even kind of, I feel like I'm a middle of the road person in terms of politics. I see both sides, man. I see both sides of the issue. I see why it's an issue. I don't need to be extreme one side or the other. But I didn't like what Trump was doing to the country in terms of dividing us against each other. And I never felt anything like that in my life, in America. So, and actually, I attributed it all back to Russian misinformation. But I digress. So sending my mom this book is kind of like an interesting little like manipulative strategy to get her to see that here's a good person on the other side. Because I don't know what your politics are, but I just didn't like Trump. My politics
Trump's
are
a fucking
anti-Trump.
asshole.
He's a fucking asshole, right?
Yeah, he's a douchebag.
Yeah,
I have no
and
problem saying
I
that.
don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. I really what'd you say?
I definitely have no problem saying that.
Okay, good. Yeah, and I felt like it divided me and my family. And I've heard of it dividing so many families around. I mean, that's like the worst thing about it. Whatever you have to say about the guy, like how many families did he divide?
Oh,
And that's the saddest thing. And my parents are getting old, and so I don't want to spend much time arguing with them. I'd rather just ignore politics in general. But the fact that this was like a woman, to a role model who wrote this book about her experience standing up to like the power structure, it's definitely like woman to woman. You could see her as a hero, I think. And maybe that'll fill in some spaces for her in terms of like, oh, maybe he should have gotten impeached that first time. Maybe this whole
or the
war
second
that's
time, or the
happening right
third
now.
time, or the fourth time. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's going on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's very divisive. My family included. My mom ran right smack into that, right hardcore, and she'll probably see this video.
Hi, moms.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Happy Mother's Day.
She might be my
We love
100th
you.
guest. She might be the 100th guest. We'll see.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I'm the 98th, right?
Yes, I know you wanted to be 100, but
Well, of course, who wouldn't be?
but
your mom's a lucky lady.
oh,
Mom's a boy's best friend.
It is murder, murder, murder.
Is that the Bates Motel?
Yeah. Yeah, it was very divisive. It was heartbreaking. It was very combative. It was I think a lot of people went through that experience. We came down to where we just can't talk about it. It's just I don't get it. I don't want to get it. It's it's fucking, the wound is fucking still healing. I don't know if people.
Yeah, it is.
It basically, we're all, and then COVID, That was like a nice
Yes.
little double whammy.
It was such a double whammy. No, I feel like it like sent us into a mental health spiral in this country. I feel like people are less good at social interactions now, semi-permanently. It altered our culture on some level. Um, it took a toll on a lot of people, myself included. I felt isolated during COVID,
Yeah.
as one does. I live alone. I was dating someone, but then I wasn't dating anyone. And then this
Oh,
whole thing
dude,
with
people got divorced, divorces and breakups left and right. My mom got
yeah,
divorced. My sister got divorced. It was like as a domino effect. It was just like, for various reasons or whatever. But I think
yeah,
it leveled. It was a very shift in consciousness, and I think
it
that's
was towards
how,
unconsciousness.
well, some people rose to the challenge, and some people succumbed
You're right.
to
You're
the
right.
challenge.
Yeah.
But it was definitely it showed us what you should be making on a regular basis. They're all, oh, this is what the average pay should be. We'll pay you guys not to do anything. So I was like, holy
Hmm.
shit, that's a lot of money than some people have seen in a long time. They're all, I should have been making this the whole time.
Yeah. I have friends that got richer during COVID just from getting the subsidies.
Yeah, I
At
know
at
some
least
people
one
like
guy
it.
was not working, I guess, before, but
I think people invested in Bitcoin a lot though too. I know some people that lost their asses on that shit.
yeah. Well, that thing. Yeah. Don't get me started on that because I feel like
Ah,
it's so pyramid schemy. Um, I don't know. Where's it all going? Where is it
no,
all going?
I've had talks on this podcast with 3 different people at nauseum about Bitcoin, and it was coming down to like, okay, so it's a pyramid scheme. That and there,
Yeah, that's
it's
pretty
like,
much what I think about it.
well, my mom used to do in pyramid schemes
Oh,
as growing up.
tell me
So
more.
we had the chart and stuff like that. She's like, well, this person makes money, and then this person, and the whole time somebody's talking about Bitcoin, I'm like, this is 1975, but
Where were you living then? Where did you grow up?
I probably in San Jose, California. That's
Okay.
San Jose there, but
Was your mom like a suburban mom trying to
um,
get ahead in the world, or what was her situation?
I don't know. We'll have to talk to her about the 100th podcast for that. But
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
No, no
can't speak
spoilers.
for her. But as it was, let's see. I would like to. I say we grew up middle class, but we were probably a little bit lower middle class. And my mom was always. She raised 2 boys by herself, and then for a while, and then she got married to my stepfather John. They were married, then he died, then she got remarried, but then
Hmm.
that fell apart during COVID. But like
Oh,
growing up, my mom was always a hustler. My mom's a hustler.
your mom's a hustler. I love that. I love that. She's
And she's gonna hate
resourceful.
that I said that, but it's true. She's always got something going on. Even now, she's trying to sell shit right now. She's 77 years old.
Well,
She's,
that'll be an awesome thing to talk about when you're interviewing your mom. I can't wait to watch that one.
dude, I'm gonna get smashed. I might do some mushrooms on that one.
You should. Pew, pew. You should get your mom to do some mushrooms on that one. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, I took it. I gave her mushrooms once. We went to a
How did that go?
that was a trip. It was a trip. It was like I gave her mushrooms. We went and saw the Elvis concert, like an Elvis impersonator.
Okay, where?
And we went to a bar beforehand,
Vegas?
and I gave her mushrooms. She had like a lemon drop that she couldn't finish. She goes, I can't finish this lemon drop. I said, she goes, I'm feeling so weird. And I said, let's go see the concert. I think you're tripping. And so that was a good
Wait,
time.
did,
That was
did
on her
you
birthday.
secretly dose her with mushrooms?
No, I thought she knew what she was eating.
Oh, she knew what she was doing, but then she was just feeling them kicking in all of a sudden.
Yeah, she had a great time. But I did that as a trying to break through a little bit with her
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
on a
Because it's
personal
hard
level.
sometimes.
Well, I think if you layer it, depending on how you use mushrooms, it can be very expansive,
Yeah, I
and you
agree.
can take that and bring that into this place, this reality. And so I mean, it's very therapeutic on a lot of different levels, and people are doing them more and more, which is getting more socially accepted. So that's what we all wanted to happen when we first took mushrooms. Everybody should try this. So
Yes, everybody should try this. It's like therapy for everyone.
oh yeah, and the pharmacy does not like that. The pharmaceutical companies do
They do
not
not like that.
at all.
Yeah, I feel like it would be so effective. Everyone should have an ayahuasca ceremony
Yeah,
to
ayahuasca.
cure this planet.
Did you do ayahuasca, and what was that experience like?
No, that's illegal.
Yeah, wink, wink. Well, I was in the Amazon when I did mine, so
Oh yeah, well it's not illegal in the Amazon.
yeah.
Um, which is where I did mine. It's quite a jungle down there. I don't. Well, that's like a whole nother. That's like a whole nother
Okay, well, we get
Let's
that.
hold off on that one. That's like a whole nother deep dive.
Boom, boom, because you got a real job and you don't want to do things that might impair that.
That's true. That is part of it.
I'm thinking for you. I want to keep you and show you in the best light.
We'll get me out of my real job later on in this episode.
Yes.
But
baby Michael, where the fuck are you from? Where'd you grow up?
The suburbs of Chicago. The suburbs of Chicago, Wilmette, Illinois. Went to New Trier High School. It's on the North Shore of Lake Michigan. The North Shore from Chicago's perspective, because Wilmette is like a wealthier, whiter northern suburb. And as you go farther south, I feel like Chicago is kind of a interestingly segregated city, like by whatever social mechanisms have worked. Fun fact, my dad is Jewish, and so I'm half Jewish, and a lot of Jewish people in Wilmette, and apparently they couldn't live in there was some weird like racist deeds back in the day where it's like you can't sell to blacks or Jews or something like that. And so a lot of Jews like bypassed, actually I think they bypassed Wilmette too and went to like Lake Forest or some other like northern suburb of Chicago. Has a really high Jewish population because that was like the closest in they were allowed to live back in the day. But I guess
what timeline is that, you think?
I think it's like around, World War II and stuff. Would it be before or after? I think because at some point, like, we started loving Jews in America, don't you think? I mean, now it's complicated because Israel is becoming sort of an asshole state right now, or it's always been a fraught relationship. It's like who set it up like that? I don't know. Who do you blame? My grandmother was a Zionist and lived in like present day Lithuania. They were just like regular.
What is a Zionist?
So basically, there was this guy, and I don't remember his name, Benjamin something, I believe.
Button.
Was Zion his last name? I don't know. But basically, the idea is that like, the Jews, like our homeland is there around Jerusalem and whatnot. Like someday, with the Jews who are a diaspora around the world will like come home and start actually being landowners. That's a big thing because in Europe during the Middle Ages, there's all these Jews, but they wouldn't let them own land. In fact, the term Gentile or gentleman means someone who owns land. And so a Gentile is a non-Jew. It's also a gentleman. It's like Jews, no owning land. So you can be like a banker or a merchant or whatever. And that's why there's so many like Jewish bankers and merchants.
They kick the shit out of that.
We'll
take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. So then let's see, going through the ages. Yeah, at some point there was this guy who was like, someday the dream is we'll get back together. We'll go to a place where we can work the land and we'll go back to being people of the land. So they would like raise money and send it to these kibbutzes that were there was Jews in the Middle East. They were like everywhere, but they weren't that concentrated. There was Arab people, Palestinians. There's Christians there too, and Muslims. Yeah, of course, Muslims. So anyway, they would like my grandmother who lived to be 104, died like 5 years ago or 8 years ago, 2016, 17. So she's born in 1911. So like in the 20s, 1920s. She's like, they would raise money, have like a bake sale. They're like, oh, we're sending this money to a kibbutz in Israel because we're in the high school Zionist club. It was just like this weird little ethnic club, like so innocuous. Like let's support the farming settlers in I guess you could call it colonialism, but it's like decolonialism because you're going back from a constellation down into a Big Bang epicenter. So I don't know. So that was what Zionism was. Now it's taken on this connotation of being like a Jews uber alles person who thinks that like Jews need to control the whole Israel, Middle East, or whatever, and it's almost like a Jewish fascist. I would say a Zionist is like a Jewish fascist, someone that wants Israel to be really warlike, aggressive, and just kick the Palestinians' asses and stuff. And that whole issue is so emotionally complicated for me because, well, on the one hand, I didn't really. Sorry, I'm just diatribing. Is this cool? Can I just keep going?
No, there you go. This is your show, man. Come on.
Thank you. And it's your show, but I'm your honored guest.
I'm your host.
So I didn't really identify as Jewish growing up. we were actually raised Catholic because my mom is Irish Catholic, predominantly Irish. White American, predominantly Irish, Catholic, very Catholic. Like my mom is maybe one like top 5 Catholics I know in the world. She really believes in Jesus and salvation, and it's like she goes to church every single Sunday. She can't miss ever. She has to like find a church if she's traveling. We had to go every single Sunday until we were 18. Um, and then it's like, yeah, she really believes in that shit, and I feel like that belief actually gives her power and a sense of well-being and like good things come of her faith. So I wouldn't want to take that away from her. But I don't really relate to it that much because I don't really believe in the story. It's like it just seems so improbable that like our Jesus is the one true guy and that there is even a heaven or whatever. I feel like we need to live life just for now, assuming there's not necessarily a heaven, but maybe we should live our lives as if we want to, be judged positively at the end. That makes sense, I think. You want to be able someone to look at your life and be like, that was a good guy. If
Yeah.
they know, right?
I mean, I feel like if you do nice things and you're a good person, and do what you love and create or like do what your passions are, and not, look, we're all learning, right? We've all
Yeah,
done bad things and we've learned along the way.
right.
Yeah.
Especially when we're kids.
Oh yeah, like my childhood, that's a whole thing. But like, yeah, I mean, there's bullies in the world and stuff like that, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I actually think just from listening to you talk about this religion thing, like this, it seems like so much fucking work to keep up with that stuff that I wouldn't even like. I grew up Christian supposedly, but like I never really like. I didn't buy it,
You didn't buy it.
really buy it. I played kazoo in the church for a second, but I wasn't really like get behind it sort of guy. Like I don't know, it just seems so organized religion just seems it's like if you take mushrooms and stuff like that and you look at the veil, not just the fact that everyone's gonna have a really good mushroom trip. Sometimes people shouldn't do mushrooms, but like if you can get through the veil of this, dimensional, we're in a crazy spot. Obviously, everyone knows right now.
Well, yeah, we may just be a simulation, right?
Do you think that?
I don't. But then again, they say that you wouldn't know, so I don't know.
I think there's multiple.
It feels so real. It just feels so.
It is real. It is real.
It's real.
Yeah. I think it's definitely more than the sums of its parts when it comes to the reality that we are living in. And I don't know if it's human that brought us to this point. And on that stage, you know what I mean? It's like matter. It's like fucking beyond.
But we wouldn't even know what they look like. I mean, supposing we were a simulation, does that mean people that look like us were made in God's image or whatever? But we wouldn't have to be. Maybe God is just like a big squirmy, wormy creature, and he's just like, wouldn't it be cool if we looked like cute little humans? And then they like design the game to look like we're their avatars. We're what they want to look like, but they're actually maybe they're just electronic, ones and zeros too.
Yeah, did you?
Our creators.
I was just watching Kiko Makiko, or that Kiko Makiko. He's the quantum theorist, physicist.
Oh, is he the string theory guy?
Yeah.
Michio Kaku or something like that. Michio Kaku.
Fucking great guy.
Yeah, he's a smart cookie.
He just did a Rogan thing the other day, and it's like 2.5 hours long. I couldn't stop watching it.
Oh, I want to watch that too.
So fucking brilliant. And he goes through all this different ideas that we're talking about right now, but he's a quantum physicist and he talks about the future.
Oh, nice. Like he knows. Like he's been there.
I take his opinion over most. But like how it's going to, oh God.
Like it's basically happening now, like we're already in it.
Where the quantum computers are going to be coming in the next phase.
Oh, the computer in our reality.
Computer.
I mean the future in our reality. Yeah. Like how much more powerful that will be compared. It's going to
change the landscape of reality.
Damn, I feel like it's changing already. They're already arguing publicly, like, should we just pull the plug on AI right now? Some people are arguing for that.
This is not going to happen.
But it's not going to happen, and that's what this guy was saying. The guy who left Google, he was like, "I'm leaving because I think we're being as responsible as possible, but I'm worried it's not enough. I don't think we should pull the plug because China's not going to pull the plug. I mean, we
No
as
fucking
Americans, I
way.
guess.
We're gonna be fucking having thylacines and fucking mammoths as well, too. Thanks to those guys. But
We're gonna have what? Dinosaurs and mammoths?
well,
They're-
thylacine is that sort of they call it a tiger or something. Is like it's like a cross between a possum and a dog. It had a pouch or a
Ooh.
kangaroo. It had like leopard or stripes on the back. They went extinct about 100 years ago. They're bringing that back.
Oh, are they really? They're bringing it. They're bringing it back.
Bringing it back, hitting the oldies. That'll be
We're
fun.
bringing possums back. Wait, what are they called? Thylacines?
Thylacines. I'll
Thylacines.
put the proper wordage on the screen after when I edit. But they let's see what were we talking about before? Oh, quantum computing.
Mm, yes.
Like how that's going to change the fabric of reality. Like can you imagine? Okay, I'm going to step forward in the future. I think it's going to like the future is going to look wacko, like really crazy.
Yeah, it might be.
Well, the quantum computing thing is that where it's going to be, we're not going to be using computers at some point here.
It'll just be incorporated inside of
Who
us
knows
or
what
what?
it's going to look like? It's with what's happening, how fast it's happening right now. And if we find like I don't know, like if we start going to other planets, go back, it's going to be crazy. We can build like
It is gonna be. Yeah, look how far it's gone in our lifetime, and then our parents' lifetime. We were like driving around in like Ford Model Ts and stuff like that. And we're
Yeah.
fucking going to the moon, going to Mars, building all these crazy little devices. So I guess one scenario that I think is likely to happen is that we're like just like how the monkeys gave evolution to like us. I feel like we might be the people who are giving evolution to like the basically the robots. Like it's just so inefficient to have these like carbon life forms. We need to like move to silicon life forms, and like we're just making it happen. And it's not. We shouldn't see it as like a bad thing. Like
this is like a warning label. That was
Yeah.
it. It's not a bad thing.
the monkeys don't have to feel like it's bad that like we took over. They gave birth to us. Like we are their children. They are our ancestors. And so the computers or whatever, it could just turn the whole planet into like a giant computer. Like just
Well,
rearrange it.
essentially, it already is a giant organic computer.
You're right. Yes.
It is definitely beyond like nature itself is like the ultimate like fucking thing, computer, generating by the sun. And when I think
Yes.
the sun is basically our god. If there's something that we should be worshiping
Mm.
on this fucking planet, is a sun. Because if that fucking thing goes out, it's over.
And most religions do actually put the sun at the center of the universe. I mean, the sun plays a big role in like every organized religion, I feel. Or they say that they evolved from like ancient people's sun worshiping religions. That's why it's like winter, like Christmas is always like when the sun is extinguishing and then it's reborn. Just like the Jesus myth too. It's like death and rebirth. It's like winter. Like don't give up hope. This is just our death phase.
Well, the
Must be.
story of the story, like most representations of Jesus Christ is he's a white guy, which is hilarious to me because
Yeah, that's true.
There was no way he was a white guy.
You're right. He was some kind of African-looking fellow, African Middle Eastern. And who
So
knows?
did-
Because there's all these migrations of people too. Like, was he Arabic looking? No, but it's like pre-Arabic, right?
And when they put the rock when they buried him over top of the hole, and he got out and resurrected a day later, who the fucking moved that rock in the first place over the hole?
But yeah, good question. Was it the Romans?
I mean, how many Romans does it take?
To change Jesus's tombstone. What do you want on your tombstone? Pepperoni and sausage. I just think like there's such a margin of error. Like it's so likely that we just got that story wrong over the years. Like, and then it was a good story. I think we like good stories. And actually, you know what I was just thinking? This is like a deep thought, but like our ancestors around the time when we were developing language, I think I've heard it's like 70,000 years ago. Like, so we've learned fire and we're like sitting around the fire and we're like, there's grunting and stuff. But like at some point, like language becomes a thing and our thinking goes to the next level. And it's like probably going into the winter. Do animals know what winter is? Like, I know bears eat a lot when they can and then they hibernate. But do they know, like in terms of memory and having like, okay, winter's coming, it's going to be 4 months. I think I'm doing good with my fat. Or are they just following like their instincts? Because I'm thinking maybe they're just following their instincts, but humans at some point had to be like, okay, we need a story about this so our children won't freak out or whatever. Or so like if we die, like our children will know what's up. And so like these, I don't know, these stories, these myths of like the God, like, oh, then the God is there watching, but don't worry, it will be back. It'll be back. You must believe there will be another spring.
Yes.
Fret not.
Well, the Mayans, you can understand why they're fucking chopping everyone's fucking heads off when they saw the solar eclipse. So they're like,
Oh yeah, they're like, holy shit.
Whatever it is happening, we need to start killing people immediately. We obviously angered this fucker.
Yeah,
They just were beheading blood. Could you imagine what a slaughter fest it was like when the solar eclipse happened for the first time?
yeah, they must have been fucking losing their shit. And actually, that's probably, didn't they start developing math and like astronomy and stuff so that they could predict when the next one was going to come? That's crazy. How, you know what I wanted to say a minute ago is, like in all of our deep conversations, what we get to the point where it's like the computer is somehow like the ultimate thing to build. Like, yeah, they'll turn the whole planet into a giant computer. But it's funny because computers, we kind of can think of them as being kind of like dorky or whatever, like computer, like. So, but like if the entire purpose of the universe is to like create computers, isn't that kind of like, shouldn't that be cool?
I think computers are very cool. I don't know if it's that very nerdy anymore since people are fucking billionaires because they
making their crypto billionaires. Couldn't be doing that without computers.
Computers.
Beep, boop, beep.
Okay, so you were from Chicago. See what I just did there?
Yes.
And you can't. Were you liking the acting and the sketching and the stuff with the dramas and the acting? What you were growing up with, or when did that start to change? And who were you? What started to change those? What were you watching that kind of made you want to do that?
What do you like in the acting and the sketching and the comedy? The kvetching and the sketching.
Like
you know what?
The weather's playing fucking havoc with me here. I'm fucking. I'm glasses. I'm
man.
I had jacket. The pattern is nuts over here.
You look comfortable though. I mean, you look like you are in nature, and yet you're mostly in the shade, so that's good. Yeah. Don't overheat over there.
What's that?
I said don't overheat.
No, that's why I get the beers. Okay, so let's
to keep you cool. Okay, so you know who my first comic idols was the Marx Brothers. Like, and I remember wanting to watch all of their movies growing up, and like we'd rent them, and I'd like watch them over and over, and do like the Groucho walk around and be like, wah, 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 wah. I was like Groucho for Halloween. So he was my my probably OG comic look up to person, and then the Three Stooges. Loved me some Three Stooges. They were like crack. Like I remember when they started having them on TV, like Friday nights on like UPN Power 50. They'd have like an hour of the Three Stooges at 9 o'clock or something. You get 3 shorts in there. Like,
wow. I actually remember I grew up in the Bay Area, but I obviously am older than you, and
obviously.
But like that was like I don't know how old, but I must have been 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 when I started watching those guys for the first time. And Curly,
Curly.
I don't know, identified with those so much. I mean, what a great.
You identified with Curly. He was so funny.
Yeah, it's like because I identified definitely with Curly. Yeah, I mean, but who's a slow burn on that is Larry.
Larry is a slow burn.
I think he's the group.
He's like the schlemiel, like a bad shit always happens to him. And then remember there was Shemp. Sometime when they lost Curly, then they got Shemp. It was like he wasn't as good as Curly.
We're all, but now endearingly, I like the Shemp.
Yeah. No, there's some great Shemp episodes, as I like to call them. Remember the one where Shemp is supposed to get married by like 6 o'clock p.m. Or he won't get his inheritance. Like
I don't remember it's like the Songs of Fish. I don't remember the.
I feel like it's the episode with the best setup. It's like Moog is reading in the papers that like his uncle has died, or Shemp's uncle has died, and he will inherit all of his money, but only if he's married by like May 26th. That's today. Oh my God, we got to get you married. So they're going around.
I remember that one.
And they're like calling all these women trying to like get a date. And all of them are like, "Oh, fuck you, Shep, you son of a bitch." Pew. But then they see, I guess, in the newspaper about the inheritance, and they like all change their tune. They're like, "Oh my God, I want to marry this guy." So then they all converge on like a chapel where he's supposed to get married, and there's like this big, like fisticuffs breaks out between all the women, and I feel like that was an early shaping of my like early sexuality too. I was like, "Ooh, I like a brawl of women fighting over
Cat
fighting
fight.
over me."
Cat fight.
Like
Everyone loves a cat fight.
everyone loves a cat fight, so that was my first cat fight, and it was amazing. Thank you, Three Stooges. And then yeah, so I wish I had got in. I feel like I would have been so into improv if I had gotten into it in college age or even earlier. But a lot of people got into it in college where there's clubs and stuff. And I don't know, it wasn't on my radar or my map. I don't think I ever even went to a show until after college. I remember I went to one show in Chicago. It was actually at Improv Olympic, which then I didn't know would go on to be like a pretty big improv institution. There was one out here, Iowa West, and they went out of business like right around the time I moved here, which is about 5 or 6 years ago. I moved to Santa Monica about 6 years ago from San Diego. More on that later. So yeah, I didn't get into it, but I was always into like like making movies. I was like AV nerd kind of guy slash like wannabe Spielberg, and I was like the video club president in my high school. And I would spend hours and hours like editing these little movies, and I would shoot people's like events like bar mitzvahs, or I think I did a wedding. I was like a wedding videographer in high school because like through the video club I would get these gigs. So I was like there's like a show now where the guy is, it's like a show about a teenage videographer, and I'm like, oh my God, that was me.
Mhm.
Oaks or something. It's like, what's that Oaks show? Something Oaks.
Hmm.
I think
Oh.
it's on Hulu. Anyway, so yeah, I was kind of like a hustler in my own way too. In high school, I like used all my like little video skills. I made a senior video for my high school, and basically we'd go around in the morning to advisory before everyone had advisory at 8:10. That's when you start your day, and we would like interview the teachers and like do goofy stuff. And then at the end of graduation, we would like videotape the graduation footage, and then we like ran back to the studio and like edited that to the end of the senior video, and then we like ran back into the party, and like we got to play our movie. And I remember my sister asking me at one point, like years later, she's like, "Mikey, do you use videography to like cover up for your social anxiety?" Because if you're like the video person at a party, you kind of have like this little element of, barrier between you and you're not dancing.
You're seeing it as an observation as well.
You're just like a fly on the wall, which I do actually like that feeling. I like that fly on the wall feeling, but I actually like being at the party too. So that's good. So yeah, I was like this video hustler, and then we played the thing. It was like successful, but then I was like, I could sell this video to everybody. Would probably like a copy of this. And there was like another video called the Video Yearbook.
Did you sell it?
Yes, I did.
You
Spoiler.
profit-hungry bastard! You
I was a
Hollywood
prophet.
corporate junkie.
Yes, I was a prophet. I was a
Damn everybody
money
here for this video because they're all on it.
grubbing Jew. Listen to what I did. So, I had another. I think I was a caddy, part-time caddy that summer, and then I was like, I have this video to market, and I told my dad about it, and he was just like, "Well, you should call people in your class. You have like the class directory. There was like 750 students in our class." So I basically, I started like cold calling everybody. I would spend like hours doing this, and I like cross their names off the list. I'd be like, either okay, called, yeah, I like just put a yes or no.
Yeah, that's your kill list right there.
And this was my sales pitch. It was so sales forward. It was like, hey, Mrs. Johnson, like, hey, this is Michael Stone. Like, I'm a classmate of like Joe or whatever. So like, first I guess if Joe was there, I would like ask for the person, or sometimes I wouldn't. I was like, the parents are the decision makers here.
Did you have
I'd
a
be like-
headset on doing it just like that? Like
No, it was like an old school phone where it's like cha-ching. I don't think it was rotary dial. It was like push tone. But actually, I did it from the video club. We had a phone in our club room in the high school, which was on the fourth floor. It was like way off the beaten path. All my cool friends would like go out on the roof and smoke weed. during that, but I was like too much of a straight lacer for any of that nonsense.
Yeah.
But now looking back, I wish I had indulged at an earlier age. It would have made me a more well-rounded person.
No, you needed those things. Like those are good
Yeah.
things. You had because you had structure. And
yeah, and I was like super motivated, hardworking. I was like a good student. I would get pretty good grades. For some reason, I always struggled with like English classes where you had to write papers and stuff. But I feel like I just didn't get, I don't know what they were looking for or something. My parents like didn't. I feel like I didn't have that many interactions with adults growing up. Like we were very sheltered, very structured. I was the fourth of five kids, so I feel like my parents were kind of tired by the time I came along. And like, so my dad would be tired after work and just want to like relax. And then my mom was like, okay, do the dishes, like go do your homework, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have that much freedom. So I wouldn't be like sitting around, like listening to conversations with adults. So I was like, I don't know, very much of a child, I think, in my like rationalizing the world. Whereas I feel like my friends who had like, whose parents were divorced and they were like out in the world and just getting to school of hard knocks from an early
yeah,
like they developed a more sophisticated rhetoric around discussing the world as like a 17 or 18-year-old. I didn't have I had a girlfriend my first girlfriend ever, first kiss, anything, that was like I was 17, towards the end of, I guess, junior year. And I feel like any dating or any kind of interacting with girls even was like so frowned upon before that I was just like not even.
it sounds like I feel like we have a lot of similarities. That's one of them. Like I feel like I'm a late bloomer.
Yeah, I felt like I was a late bloomer.
Because I like even in high school, like I was walking through the hallways and going, and just the romanticized version of it, this will one day end, and this is what it looks like right now. Just like encapsulate that moment. Like just remember the shadows of the people coming by and the energy of everyone walking through the high school. And because nothing. I think I became a goody two shoes for like a long time, sort of not goody two shoes, but I was very innocent, and I still was like, I could have done mushrooms when I was like 16. I drove people to go get them, or 18 or something, or 17 to go get them, and they were cool people. I hung out with them, and they said, "Do you want to do some mushrooms?" I said, "No, no, no, no. I would never."
I was exactly like that too. Yeah,
and in hindsight, I would have done that. I should.
Yeah, I think it would have been so cool. It would have been so cool to do it.
But I think I was
hanging
on to those. I was hanging on to those.
Like childish morality or whatever. I remember being I remember being in exactly that situation, hanging out with people that I think are cool people. Like some of them are my friends, some of them are like other cool people that I just like don't know that well, but I'm like, I know of them. I've had classes with them. Well, people I'm super comfortable with, but they're kind of like the more artistic-y, weird people. And then some of them were just like, oh, I'm taking acid right now. And I just remember being afraid for them. I'm like, oh my God, like they're taking acid. Like people have flashbacks from that. And like that could fuck up your brain. Like, oh, I'm so scared for them. So I just like was scared of it and thought it was just like bad. Drugs are bad.
When I did do acid, the first time I did acid, I did 4 hits of acid.
Whoa, that's a lot.
My ex-girlfriend's house in Modesto, California. And they were playing Head Like a Hole on the car, and it was in the back seat. I had to play it like 5 times. Head Like a Hole, 9 Inch Nails. And I got in the car, and a cat came up to me. I started talking to the cat, like telepathically. And
telepathically, right.
Yeah, of course. It's all telepathic at that point.
Yeah.
Of acid.
It's all
my
telepathic.
First time. I only think I did mushrooms before that. But and then I went into this party, and my ex-girlfriend was there with her boyfriend, who had a good friend named John Williams, who was a very funny
John
guy.
Williams, that's my uncle's name.
Oh, really?
Who passed away years ago.
That would later become my best friend. And then we would move to LA together, and then he died a year later. Which
oh dang,
23, really talented guy. But
was he a composer?
He did like music. Actually, yeah, he was a composer. He was he played guitar and loved music, and he can sing really good. But he's also very funny and very quick, and older than his years. But and also an alcoholic, and also did some crack for a little bit. But he was
crack.
But
we won't hold that against him.
No. Those are just observations. But
yeah. When did he pass away? Sorry.
In 94, 95.
Okay.
Oh no, 1995. Yeah. 23 years old.
Oh man, you guys were close.
Yeah, until the girl got between us. He said bang this girl, and she was banging everybody, so I banged her, and then he acted like that I did something bad, and then you know, and I
You
wish
were
I
just you were just banging her like he told you to.
everybody. Yeah, I was just following directions, but I also hate. I don't do love triangles. I don't do that shit.
It's
So
good to avoid them, I think,
yeah,
supposedly.
at all costs. But we digress. What were we talking about before John Williams? What were we talking about? There,
That's a good question. Sometimes it's hard to go back, and we don't always have to go back.
no,
Mm.
but oh, you were doing okay. So you did
Oh,
this high school
hustling.
hustling because you saw where the money was at.
Oh yeah, I was making all these phone calls. Oh yeah, no, I was going to tell you my sales pitch. I was going to be like, okay, good, nice, we got there. The sales pitch would be like, okay, this is Michael from like Nutria Network. It's like Nutria's video club, and so you've probably heard of the senior yearbook video. So there's the yearbook video, but there's another one. It's the senior video. Um, they didn't do as good of a job of like promoting it, but like it's just another video option that you can get. So it's $15, and we can just you can pay for it when it gets delivered, or you can send a check or whatever. So do you want to get the senior video as well as the video? And then they would be like most people would be like, yeah, I guess so, or I guess not most. I think I ended up selling about 150 of them or
Fuck.
200, and I
Jesus
made
Christ, dude.
I made an estimate. I was like going into it, I needed to like estimate how many I thought I could make to see if it was even worthwhile. So I did like a test run, and it was like I was getting like 30% of like the test run. I did like 10 people and I got 3 hits or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna sell like 200 of these or whatever. It was somewhere between 150 and 200. So some people would just not answer the phone. Some people would be like, oh, no one's here who can answer this right now. I call back. Some people would be like, oh, well, Billy's here. Let me get Billy. And then sometimes they'd be like, no, I don't think so. Thanks anyway. And then sometimes they'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, we want that senior video. So I would just put down like a yes.
What was the price?
It was $15.
Okay.
$15.
So, how would you distribute the content? Was it on a DVD?
Oh, this is pre-DVD, so these were going to be VHS tapes, and which is basically at the time the only way to deliver it. So I think that's what people assumed they would be getting. And so then I needed to get I bought 200 video cassettes. I bought 2 or 3 more VCRs, and I brought them to the video club room and hooked them up. And I kept the boxes and stuff so I could return them to like Circuit City and Best Buy later. And then I started cranking out. I could make 4 copies at a time. I would like press play, and the video is
using
like
the equipment at the college.
I'm using it at the high school. This is like senior year of high school, and it's like old fashioned equipment, like big Sony tape decks. So it's like
the big one.
like reel to reel.
The tapes are this big and shit. Like
yeah, the big U-matic tapes. And then so I had a friend helping me. I'd be like, hey, do you want to come hang out with me this afternoon, just like in the video club room, and we'll just like.
You'll do my bidding. I'll put you to work to make my money.
Do my bidding. So yeah, and then I started like delivering them, and I would just like go around. I think I got like my dad to help like drive me from house to house.
Fuck yeah, dude!
Because I fucking incorporated it, and I got these like cheap tapes too. Like back then, remember, like
you didn't
a
go
blank
for quality.
tape.
You didn't go for quality. You went for cheap.
I didn't go for quality. I went for cheap, and actually cheaper than cheap. I went to this trade fair. Because actually the girl that I was dating, her dad was kind of like a weird hustler. He was like an optometrist with a expired optometrist license. So he would like sell designer eyewear, and he would go to these like shows where people sell stuff wholesale. And I went with them one time, and I just walked around. I'm like, oh, you're selling wholesale videotapes? Like, how much are these? And he's like, oh, these ones are just 75 cents each. And I'm like, bingo. But they're short. Like they don't have that much tape. So it's actually better because now I'm not wasting it. But they had these super ugly
I'm plugging in my thing. I'm listening to you. Okay.
They had these super ugly tape jackets, or what would you call it? The envelope that like the VHS tape would go into. Like just a blank tape that you would get from the store. They were like uglier than that because they had some kind of like gnarly pattern, like just like they hadn't spent much on the graphic design.
Shit.
Yeah, they're like orange and black, weird, like ugly design. So like one of my regrets is that I didn't like also buy those nice plastic like cases to put tapes in, even though that would have cut into my profit margin Significantly, I feel like I would rest knowing it was like a nicer product because it made such a difference showing up and here's your cassette tape in like a fucking like paper
The
envelope that looks
cheesiest,
like it was
most
designed in
bullshit
China.
thing.
Yeah, and I printed out labels. I printed out like Nuture Senior Video 1999 and like put the labels on there. But still it looked so like I don't know, haphazard. But people never complained about them. There wasn't Yelp back then. I dropped it off, got my $15, went about my business. And
Well,
I think I
15
made
bucks
like,
back then must have been like 25 bucks.
yeah,
Now.
that's probably about true. And it was like my summer job. It was like part of my summer job before college. And I think I made like $3,000 doing this. So that was like a good chunk of change and like a lot less time than working a summer job all summer.
You must have
And I
felt
was
very proud of yourself for
I
doing that.
did feel very proud of myself. And then Joey Winter, the co-president of the video club, who also had worked in the senior video, but I basically hadn't consulted him about this plan. I just started like selling it on my own. But when he got wind of this, he was like, "What?" He's like, "I helped make that video." It's like he had sort of like rights to the video, and he's like, "You're just making all these profits?" And I was like, "Well, you got a point. You got a point there. You got a point there."
What's the what does profit really mean? What's that word? You know, it's such
I
a
know. It's like, well, I
what
did
is
say, I
it?
was like, I actually put a lot of time. I was like, so basically, I spent all this time doing all this marketing. I had to like do all of these calls. I had to go to the trade show, get the tapes. I made all these copies, delivered them. Like, honestly, it was a huge amount of work. But then again, you have what can I do? What can I do to make you whole here? And he's like, how about throwing some bucks my way? And I'm like, all right,
How do we make this go away?
how do we make this go away? I'm like, how about you want $50? You want $50? He's like, how about a hundo? How about a hundo? And I'm like, all right, I think I can give you $100. Yeah, I got made 3,000. I could probably give you 100. All right. I was like, come
Walter,
on over.
and that makes you perfect for Hollywood.
And there I was. I was wheeling and dealing. I was buying up the IP so I could make all the profits, and the
Paying
artists would
people
only
off.
get
You're
would only
paying
get
people off.
pittance. I'm paying people off. People are satisfied with the product. I
I'm
actually
banging
watched it a few.
chicks. I'm fucking going on yachts. Fuck
Boom,
this
boom.
place.
Going on canoe trips with the Boy Scouts. That's like a yacht. So that was my earlier entrepreneurial days, and then I started a video club, like a film production club at the University of Illinois too. Like there wasn't really one, which was crazy to me because it's like a huge university. And they had like no film program. I think I would have liked to have majored in film production, but I took like the serious, responsible approach and majored in engineering instead. Um, Also, because I don't know, at that age, I hadn't like thought about what I want to do that much in life. I have friends who'd have like coaching and like they would talk to like a career advisor and all this shit, and like they knew where they wanted to go. They wanted to go to Ivy League schools. They wanted to do this, that, do all these extracurricular activities. All I would do is like my video club stuff, um, and then I guess I did have that girlfriend starting senior year. That was a whole nother
Have
fun.
you had a girlfriend every day you've been alive? It sounds like you've had a lot. You've gotten some. You've been pretty good with the ladies.
Have I had a girlfriend every day I was alive? You know what? Sort of. Yeah. I mean, for the most part. Um, and
What's your
I
secret?
would, what's my secret? Oh, that's a good question. Well, I don't know. You can't be my boyish good looks. Um, I, I, I don't know. Well, I had two sisters, I guess. I knew something about girls.
Oh, they broke you in a little bit. Did they give you some
They
like?
broke me in a little bit. I probably had some idea of like, what to
Are they older
expect.
or younger?
Older, yeah. So we're
Oh
in a big
shit,
family.
that's the
Older brother,
story.
younger brother, two older sisters.
Did
The
they ever
ones,
dress you up as a girl?
not really. That would have
Did
been
they
fun,
try?
probably.
Did they try?
I think to this day, I think that's kind of like a sexy like fetish is like, ooh, cross dressing. Ooh, look at me. Um, I don't remember. I mean, I do remember I had like a doll at one point. I had a little doll named Andre. It was like when I was like two or no, 3 or 4, almost old enough to remember. Um, but I don't know. I would say if anything, we were more like my older sister is like a tomboy. She was a firefighter for her whole career. Just retired recently. And then Sarah's not a tomboy, but I mean, without getting into gender bending or anything like that, I think I just like, sometimes, like I said, I didn't have that much interaction with like adults. I didn't like know that much about the real world, the birds and the bees. But I think like I'm a quick, I'm a quick learner, as us late bloomers are sometimes, right?
Yeah, I think now so more. I'm a more. I think I had to get through some gunk these past like 4 or 5 years, but
Oh, well, these past 4 or 5 years have been totally like a different story, and we should start getting through that gunk.
yeah, we got to clarify. Like that fish show was a clarifying. That I needed that. Like that was complete medicine. That was
Nice. So did you go really take me through your journey start like where were you at when COVID hit and take me through the last few years?
um in a nutshell. Um,
Yeah, I guess, or
I
whatever you
mean,
want.
I had a gallery that was doing really well right in 2019. I was living off of a beach street off of Washington.
And you had a physical building gallery?
Yeah, my these guys gave it to me for 2 months,
Nice.
for free, and we had a big show there, and with multiple artists, and my dogs were sort of on their decline, but I didn't really realize it yet. I was so busy with the gallery and stuff like that, and so my dogs, it was a lot. There's a lot of
Yeah. No, I don't
there's
want
a
to
lot of emotion.
re-traumatize you if it
What's that?
I also don't want to re-traumatize you if
Oh no. No, it's all good to talk about things like that, but it was like you asked a question. Okay, unless we want
yeah.
a different subject.
No,
But
no, no.
but like
So your dogs basically died like around the same time or going into COVID?
yeah, I think Celeste, my little pug Chin Chin mix, she died like November 24th, or no, December 24th. And I was
Before
also,
COVID, so like 2019?
yeah, and I had an art show. I just had an art show that was very exhausting, and I don't know if it was, you do those things, and like
Yeah, well, you
it was so much fucking work. Was it worth it? But you got to do these things. I had like a fucking $30,000 space for free.
Yeah, no,
Like
I bet it was worth it. And I hope you're not blaming yourself for your dogs passing away because I'm sure it was their time.
yeah, yeah, it was their time, and they went. I didn't have to put them down. They went naturally. It was a best scenario one could ever.
Yeah. You know what? They were probably really happy they got to spend their final days with you, or their whole lives basically, or however.
Yeah. Well, before that, I just broke my arm in the Emerald Triangle doing weed as a lawless place.
Oh shit! Wait, in the
you know,
triangle?
the Emerald Triangle, like Northern California, where they trim weed.
Oh, I didn't know that it was called that. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
the Emerald Triangle is very.
And how did you break your arm?
This kid fucking asked me to help him pull something down out of a tank, out of one of those iron things, and I got stuck in the hole in my arm. The guy
Oh
was.
fuck!
It was a fuckery.
Peanut butter jelly with a dog on the side. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly eaten by a dinosaur. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly with a dog on the side. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly eaten by a dinosaur. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly with a dog on the side. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly eaten by a dinosaur. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly with a dog on the side. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly eaten by a dinosaur. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly with a dog on the side. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly eaten by a dinosaur.
Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew.
Man, a nice cold brew and a game of pool sure sounds good about right now. Peanut butter jelly with a dog on the side. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly eaten by a dinosaur. Peanut butter jelly with a dog on the side. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly eaten by a dinosaur.
Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. In the garden, in the moonlight, will you pardon me and tiptoe through the tulips with me?
Yeah.
Perfect. Hit it at a fast speed and take a while for it to actually turn. Because it's not like...
No, you turn it all the way when you park.
Yeah.
But
You got wounded on the job.
I should have been out of there 2 weeks. It's a lawless place. You don't want to be stuck in the fucking Emerald Triangle. It's
Oh man, how long were you in
If I
there?
left 2 weeks earlier, it would have been primo.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Man, fuck.
Well, then COVID, blah blah blah, moving Trump stuff, and then yeah, we're back to then podcast, and then now I do so we're here now.
Yeah.
It
So do
was
you
a
feel like you
wild
got?
time. Also, somebody threatened my life recently 3 times. This
Oh,
chick
dang.
fucking watching it over in some area. I don't want to be specific, but
It's a woman who is threatening your life. Did you say? You
yeah,
say it's a chick.
but I don't want to talk about that too much. But
Okay, but
it's
just
been a tumultuous time.
it sounds like it.
And so,
Well, I'm honored to
I
be
haven't
talking
gotten
to
laid
you.
in like fucking 3 years. So it's been very
Oh man.
and just kind of getting lost to 20 pounds from COVID. So there's my nutshell.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That was great.
I
Colonoscopy
lost some
helped.
extra COVID weight.
No, the colonoscopy thing. And when you're ready to do that, how old are you now?
I've had one. I actually have had one because I had hemorrhoids, and they're like, "Well, we should check you out, make sure you're okay."
What do you have?
Well, I had like a hemorrhoid surgery.
Oh.
Yes, world. So
Can we
there,
put a
and I
picture
had
of
a
that up?
colonoscopy.
We'll put a picture of that up right now.
Yeah, I can probably send you some pictures there. That was like maybe 6 years ago or something. So I did basically the whole colonoscopy prep. So I know what you're talking about.
It's clean you out, and
It totally cleans you out. Yeah.
and I didn't mind that because I was like fat, and I was like let's. And so the lady, the woman, the doctor, one of them, you know, you see around here, I guess, I don't know, but she said, "Oh, your stomach shrunk, so like you can just go back to eating whatever you want." I said, "Well,
Okay.
what do you mean my it physically got smaller?" She goes, "Yeah, with the prep and not eating
Yeah.
and nothing in there and the clean." And I was like, that kind of jumps, kind of was a leapfrog into that because my stomach was already smaller now.
Wait, why don't they just do that for fat people in general then? Why are there so many of these surgeries where the stomach reduction surgery? Why don't they just fucking colonoscopy you a few times and that would get you started?
Yeah, I mean, well, you have to it's a mental thing too. I mean, I think people
Yeah.
live in a now
People
reality. People want things like yesterday. They
they
want
want
like
a surgical solution.
they don't
Yeah,
want to
right now.
actually work for getting the weight off. They'd rather just go get. I mean, hey,
But I know, but it's
I
fucking.
know.
The surgery ends up being work though. That like one of my best friends' dad had that surgery like 20 years ago or 15 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, probably. Yeah, and like totally lost weight from it, but he had like multiple complications from the surgery, and he had like a huge infection in. Had to have like a resurgery because of the infection. And then he can't really just eat normal meals to this day. Like he has to sort of have super small meals and like there's a bunch of things that irritate his stomach now, and it's just like it seemed like a really shitty. Seems like it did him more damage than good. Even
Yeah,
though he
some people.
was.
I don't think going underneath the knife. If you like, I know so many people that go underneath the knife constantly for one
Mm,
surgery or another,
oh man,
and it's
not
like
good.
it's like, is that your bell going off too? That's your hour bell.
No, I thought that was on your end.
It might be. Is there a delay? You're just hearing it now? Oh, is that my end?
A very quiet beep, but that's all I heard.
Hold on.
Let me check my phone while you're doing that.
No.
No, I don't have a specific out time or anything.
What?
I
Oh,
thought
you don't?
I thought
Good.
you might be sick of me after
Okay, let's
an
just
hour.
do the rest of this off the clock then. Because we have to get to many things.
I know
Uh,
there's so many things, so many good
uh,
things.
so wait, what were you just saying before the clock got me?
Okay, what were we just saying? Hmm.
The joint. Let's ponder this. You know what?
Yeah, we don't have to overthink it.
We'll play Three Stooges
Episodes.
right now.
Doodle-doo,
And,
doodle-doodle-doo.
and so we'll cut to that, and then we'll.
Hello? Is this Ginger Gray? It is? Well, this is your little snookums. I'm about to do you a big favor. Will you marry me? Oh. 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 Hey, any luck?
Who is this character?
She's the bride.
Oh, yeah? Not while I got my strength. Tell me, Poodle, didn't you propose to me?
Yes, but I'm with...
Didn't you?
Yes, but you tied me down.
That was before I read the papers. Now I accept. Okay, Tuss, let her rip. Oh, no, he proposed to me, too. And then... Please.
Ow, 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 ow. Oh, oh,
Will you marry me?
no. Never. No. Oh. I'm getting a headache.
Oh, fix your headache.
Oh.
Now what do you say?
I give up on marrying. Oh.
We'll come back, and so we can edit.
Well,
we can just do.
Can I go to one thing that I wanted to go back to at one
Yes.
point when you
You can
talked
do
about
anything
your mom in the pyramid schemes. Well, okay, first of all, let me just say I have a script in the work that has something to do with pyramid schemes. So I was doing some research on it, and I watched this show. I'm confusing if there's two shows I'm merging together. One was like a podcast, one was a show, but it's about these pyramid schemes that they were doing. I think this one was in Massachusetts or someplace out east, and it was called the airplane game or something. And it was like you invite four people to come with you, and then you're in the airplane, and 8 people are passengers, 4 people are stewards, 2 people are co-pilots, and 1 person is the pilot. And it was like a dinner party. And at the end of the night, the pilot takes home all the money. And so that person who basically they paid, I guess everybody, you have to bring in, everybody has to bring $500 at the beginning or was it 5,000? Was it maybe $5,000? I don't know.
This is a
And
real thing
then
that happened.
this is a real thing that happened, and it swept through that state at the time. Well, I think in Massachusetts, and it to the point where like it because it went viral. Basically, these type of things go viral socially before there was the internet and stuff. You would be like, "Oh my God, this is such a great way." First, the first time you go, you have to bring let's say $500. The next time you go, you don't bring any money. Then you have to go, and once you're at the top, then you take home like $4,000 or basically 8 times as much as you ever paid in, but you have to be patient. And then once you've gone through, then you can go start your own airplane, and then you recruit. And then from that point forward, all you do is make money, make money, make money. But you have to be able to spread it. You have to be able to like find 5 friends who haven't done it already. So this thing swept through, and then basically it got busted when it became statewide. People were getting like crime was happening because it was like just getting so much money was changing hands, and it became like a tax, liability issue.
Yeah,
So
because
it got
they were
the IRS.
finding the money.
Yeah, I think they were basically saying because it's gifting, we don't have to pay this as taxes, but people were making like hundreds of thousands of dollars doing this per year. A small percentage of people. So like I thought about that when you said about your mom doing pyramid schemes and stuff. I was like, listening.
I'm gonna
to
hear this is if my mom watches this, she's gonna harp on me about this part about it. Okay.
Oh man.
Why?
What?
Give me a mom disclaimer right across a banner. Moms don't watch this part of the video.
Well, I think you should talk to her about it. She probably has fond memories. I did. I didn't exactly do pyramid schemes, but I was like a Cutco knife salesman one summer, and it's all about like call all of your mom's friends and your neighbors and everybody that you know and get them to like sit down and do like a little sales presentation with you, and you tell them
parties.
Yeah, basically like a Tupperware party. So it's sort of a similar idea, and there's a certain appeal to it because it's just like, oh, all you're doing is telling your friends and just doing this thing, and oh, if they want to buy something, that's fine. But it ends up being like sort of a high pressure sales pitch because they teach you how to give the pitch, and it's
There's
like
that classic, that classic sequence, and was that movie where the guy, that really good actor that was in that movie with the alien, but they bring Scott Wolf and some other guy to their apartment, and they start talking to them about, and it starts getting kind of weird. We'll put this.
I'm really sorry, but I think we're gonna have to leave soon because Adam's not feeling well.
Oh.
I don't. It's true.
Well, if you gotta go, then I understand. But, well, Irene and I sort of had an ulterior motive for inviting you here tonight.
He makes it sound sinister. It's not.
No, I don't. She's right. Okay. Okay, you've looked around our place. Where do you think we got most of this stuff?
Just guess.
Come on.
Sears? JCPenney?
It's actually from Confederated Products. Almost everything in this house is from Confederated Products. From the toilet paper, to the candles, to the ham.
The wine.
The wine. Even that cologne you liked. You see, Confederated Products is a multi-level direct wholesaling company, which means we don't just sell the products ourselves. No, sirree, Bob. We recruit and manage teams that work under us. Now, Irene and I started 8 months ago, and already we're pulling in $50,000 a year in revenues.
We're the #4 distributor in Southern California.
You got that one, babe.
And by March, we might be #3.
Now, as law enforcement officers, Irene and I, we cannot recruit distributors from inside the force. It's against the rules. So what we do is we look for people in other industries.
Like the entertainment industry.
Wait. You want us to sell Amway?
It's Confederated Products. It's a different company. It's a different quality of product.
I'll figure it out. But
Okay.
It was a movie you probably saw. It's called it was ensemble. It was like thread movies that were coming to. Anyways, And they
Is it
start
a
telling-
Marvel? Is it a Marvel movie?
No, it's like a comedy, like in the
Okay.
2000s. It's
In
like
the 2000s. Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Is
We'll
it-
put a clip. But like they were talking and they're all like talking to the guy, and then he sits him down and starts feeding him, comes out of the bathroom naked, and his wife's like talking to them or something like that. Got really weird, and they start selling them Tupperware. Like the whole point of them coming into the, they're like,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like they think it's going to be a sex party, basically.
yeah, or yeah, the two Scott Wolf and it was Jay Moore. They're gay lovers.
Oh, Jay Moore. Okay. Yeah.
Probably one of the only thing I got beef with it, and we got to talk about Jay Moore later. But
Oh, yeah. Do you have a Jay Moore story?
oh my God,
I have one too. It's really indirect. I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell it.
why wouldn't you be able to tell it?
Well, I don't know him personally, but
Neither.
it's somebody that I do that does know him. Had something that's maybe kind of embarrassing to say. I just don't think I don't think I should say it. It's not anything bad. It's not anything bad. But it's maybe personal. I don't know. It's just like I know something about his personal life. This is terrible that I'm saying this. Jay Moore, if you want to, if you don't mind, I mean, if you want to reach out to me, give me permission to tell you what I know.
Yeah, we're Jay Moore friendly on this.
We're totally Jay Moore. Let's hear your Jay Moore.
Anti Jay Moore.
Can I hear your Jay Moore story?
In a nutshell, it is this girl, one of the funniest chicks I've ever known, Melinda, who we're no longer friends with, dragged me to this thing off of Washington at this little theater. She's like, there's a bunch of stand-ups doing this thing, and I got tickets. And I was like, okay, let's go check it out. It's just in Venice. I forget the name of the space, but and I was like, sure, let's go. And we go. There's a comedy club, or they turned this little theater into a comedy club. It's black and white exterior, and so there's a line of like maybe 10 people. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Because this, I get my spidey senses are already tingling. Because it's like, I said, where'd you get these tickets? She goes, these comedians were giving them away so that people would come on the show. So you have comedians giving away free tickets on Venice.
Yeah, like at the corner. Yeah, what do they call that?
Barking.
Barking. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we go in there, and there's like fucking 7 cameras, like nice cameras, like pointed at the audience and on the stage.
Hey, is this in Santa Monica? Is this at the west side?
This is Venice.
Oh, it's in Venice. Okay.
Off of Washington and like whatever. There's a theater there. Maybe I'll do some research and put the placard up. And we go in there, and so there's like 4 cameras pointed at like me, and like this. There's not many people. There's like 10 people in there at most, right? And there's empty seats everywhere.
4 cameras pointed at you.
They're grouping us in front of the camera, right? They're grouping us and putting us all together. The guy next to me is fucking a homeless guy who smells like fucking raw beef.
Oh man.
It's like raw beef. Melinda is off her head. She's fucking cracking up. I wish I could find this video. And this is like a pilot for.
Melinda was a girl you were dating at the time, or a friend of yours? Friend of yours?
No, she's my friend's old girlfriend. We're just friends. We're not friends anymore, but she's whack.
After beef night.
No, this is a different thing. But
well, we're not friends anymore.
Well, it's just you can't deal with crazy. I can't deal with crazy anymore. I'm too old.
Okay. Yeah. No. It's very.
So she's
hard.
loving she's loving the show, right? And this guy smelled like fucking like carcass, and like he starts heckling the comics, right? We're all in the comics. There's an audience of 10 people. It's a very hard room, and you got people staring at you. And the guys were all the comics were basically complaining about being on this show, and then the guy starts heckling one of the comics
because the room is so bad. Like the audience.
The whole thing was a shit show. The comics don't want to be there. There's no audience. There's basically homeless people in the audience, and me and Melinda. And Melinda's cracking up like it's the funniest thing she's ever fucking seen in her entire life. And I'm like going way back into the seat because I don't want
to disappear.
Because there's cameras everywhere. This guy smells like hell. And
oh man, that would do it. That would do it for me.
He was heckling the comic, and the comic's now directed his perspective to me as well.
Yeah.
As well as this guy. I'm like, I don't want to be here. And Melinda's cracking up. She's having a fucking good time. And so we get out, it's over. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And Jay Moore comes out, and we start talking. I said, dude, what is that? Because that is hell. What just happened? And there is a shit show. He's all, dude, it's like stand-up comedy, you know, it's like stand-up is the first comic standing thing, or that one that he produced. That would later become that.
Oh,
Last comic
comic standing.
Yeah.
This was the beginning of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
you got to start somewhere.
And I was like, dude, we almost got in an argument about it. I was like, I feel like hell. I wish I could see that video. I am trying to find a Jay Moore. If you're out there, if you have that,
we have Jay Moore. We want to have quite the conversation with you.
It's cringe-worthy shit, and cringe-worthy is good. We like cringe-worthy offered. But in the middle of it, I was like, whoa, dude, whoa.
Anyway. But they got what they wanted from it, basically. Like they basically just wanted the footage, or they needed to do a few shows like that and then edit together.
I don't think they ever used that shit for anything.
They may not. Yeah, it may have been a failure.
They kind of tossed away in the back.
I just like the idea that you're like, oh my god, that was a fucking shit show, and Jay Moore's like, well, no, actually, I mean, it's
a competition thing. Yeah. No, it's like he's like selling me on. He's like, I was like, this is no. But
you gotta be optimistic in this business. You gotta be positive, man. You gotta be hopeful. You never give up, man. You gotta keep hustling.
You're true. You're right. How do you stay positive doing? I mean, well, you haven't.
Well, I feel like I haven't even gone for it yet. I feel like my internal struggle is I was like, I haven't even really. I have like a little thing written on my furniture over there. You can almost. That's actually right here. You can't see it because it's blurry, but says.
I'll do the thing. I'll make it go bigger.
Enhance. It says, if you don't fail, you're not even trying. And I believe that. And I feel like I haven't even failed. Like I moved to Hollywood, the area, 6 years ago. And I was like, yeah, I was like, well, I want to get into Hollywood. I want to do films. I want to do comedy. I thought I could do stand-up comedy at the time. I feel like I haven't even really tried it because everyone says like, you just got to go do a million open mics and come up with your material, but I sort of hate coming up with material. Like I hate rehearsing and redoing and reworking. I guess I'm just lazy. I don't know, but I sort of feel like
there's gotta be a burn for it. You gotta burn it.
That's what they're like. You just have to need it.
That you feel, well, I mean, fucking Jeremy Piven, everyone gets him a problem because he's an actor and he started doing stand-up because he wasn't getting any work, right? As an actor. Jeremy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't jump on the bandwagon, but like criticizing someone for that.
But it's not a bad thing. But I don't know if you're funny, so you can get away with it. But I don't know if he's that funny.
Yeah, I don't know if he is either. Yeah, I don't think of him as being like hilarious, but I think if he's a good sort of comic actor, though.
Comedian, actor, and sketch and comedy, stand-up is 3 different bars.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because some of it is like your energy on stage and just your presence and all that.
Well, your timing. Like if you write a set right now, if you want to do stand-up, how many minutes do you got right now, do you think?
I don't know. I could either say I got no minutes or I could say I have like 2 hours. Because I just like will go on these long rambles. I feel like I have a million weird stories in my life. And then the whole idea of weaving it together with like the punchlines and all that shit, though, because it's funny because I actually like wordplay. Like I like stupid puns and shit like that. And I think I know what makes my stories interesting. And I actually think I have good comic timing, like just on an instinctual level. But for some reason, I haven't really been able to put it all together into like an act, or haven't tried really. I did a couple of stand-up classes where like you had to put on your showcase at the end, and I feel like I got laughs during my showcase, but a lot of those are like sympathy laughs from your friends or whatever. It's hard to distinguish. And I felt really cringy.
Hey, a laugh's a laugh.
Yeah.
Laugh. If they are doing it for whatever, it's still like
it's still a laugh. I mean, yeah, and I feel like I could have just I could build on that or whatever, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much of a pussy to do it. But then I got into improv, and I would like, I took a bunch of improv classes, and I would do like the class shows, and I would go to the jams and stuff. But I never actually have got on a team or put together a team that like practice consistently, perform consistently. I feel like that's how you really get to the next level of performance. And I don't know if I just don't have the passion for it, don't have the time, the energy. you know, not
Why?
enough.
Why do you think you don't have those things with that?
I don't know. On some weird level, I sometimes feel like I've lost faith in myself. Sometimes I feel like I've gotten so old and I'm just not as sharp as I
How
used
old are
to
you
be.
now?
I'm 42.
Oh shit, you are old.
Yeah, I'm totally old to be starting out as a comedian.
um you know what? If it's good, it's good. And it's inspiring you to do those things, that's all that counts. Really, you're creating something, and the whole
Yeah.
journey of that stuff. The stand-up comedy world is a beautiful world, and it's like a family. And I feel like I'm on the outskirts of that family. I'm part of it in a little weird way.
Yeah.
I did over 40 demo reels for comics. I almost did stand-up, but I saw everyone's stories. It's like that observational thing where you're looking at the thing as a filmmaker,
Yeah, right.
participant, and I heard so many fucking horror stories about being a stand-up that I was like, I'm a film guy. I'm like, I like when it contains space, film, but I do like the stand-up format.
I mean, you've heard of things going sideways because it was a live on-stage performance, or you've heard of people's lives going to hell because they were trying to make it as a stand-up and ended up being a crack addict on the street?
Both, all that.
Okay, yeah. No, there is a lot.
I have a funny memory of Ron White. I drove him from the Last Laugh to go get some booze in my Volkswagen bus.
Yeah,
and he was a fucking great guy. What a great guy! You know him? He's Ron White.
Do I know Ron White? I don't know. I'm blanking.
He's got long white hair. He's like a Southern comic. He's living in Austin.
I'm gonna Google him as soon as I get off this call.
Yeah, he's big, but he is just cracking. He's fucking funny as shit. And like,
so you're taking him on like a beer run after the show?
Yeah, basically a whiskey run. I think he drinks whiskey. Yeah, it's funny. And so I met all those comics and did like 40 or 50 demo reels for him. And then I met Steve Odekirk, and that's a whole other thing with I actually like to talk to him on the pod, but I actually called him and anyways, that'd be
You
funny.
had Steve Odenkirk on this podcast?
No, Steve Odekirk. He did he wrote and produced he wrote and directed Ace Ventura 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he took some
Great
ideas.
movie.
He took some ideas. Some of my ideas are in that movie.
Nice. Which one? I don't do humans. Or no, that's Ace Ventura 1, isn't it?
Bumblebee Tuna. That one's me.
That's it. You're the Bumblebee Tuna. Well, you got the right hat for it.
Yeah, Bumblebee Tuna. That when he's.
The Wachati are a peaceful people. They find all forms of life sacred.
I like them already.
Bumblebee Tuna. Bumblebee Tuna.
Hi there, nice to see you. Bumblebee Tuna? Bumblebee Tuna! Ace Ventura, pet detective. How are you this afternoon? Alrighty then.
Excuse me. Your balls are showing.
Bumblebee Tuna?
There's all sorts of stuff in there. Anyways, I'm not like
Not like I digress.
I'm mad about those things, but I've got over all that shit. But it's funny. So when you're doing your acting and you want to do stand up, like, do you think I see you as more of a character actor, right? Like stand up would be something that you like. Do you really want to do stand up? Do you really want to do it? Or you because
I don't know. Here, let me. I don't know. I would say the answer is maybe not. Like, I've stopped watching stand up. I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch the John Mulaney special that just came out on Netflix. Someone told me it's pretty good. For some reason, I started feeling like stand ups are kind of like complainy. I do like Dave Chappelle. I feel like Dave Chappelle is kind of like a philosopher of our times. I think he's so good. I'll always watch him. I like Louis C.K. All the guys getting canceled. Feel like we gotta go back to offending each other a little bit more in general. If we had to, I think that's the pendulum swing. It's good that it's been swinging in this direction because our culture has a lot of fucked up shit about it.
Maybe it'll keep on swinging so fast that it'll look like it's in one motion.
A big blur. Yeah, I feel like that's a good point. It does swing faster and faster. I think people forget that everything that we're feeling is the pendulum shift. People are always like, "Oh, it's a slippery slope. It's going to keep going more in that direction." Well, it can be, but I feel like more often than not, it actually, the farther out it goes, the more pressure you start getting to push it back. It's like a whole bunch of people, we're all trying to keep this thing on track, or it's like democracy or whatever. We're like, oh no, it's going too far this way. It's like push it back, push it back. It's like, well, it's going over here.
Energy.
So there's times when you're like, oh man, I feel like nobody wants to talk to an old middle-aged white guy cisgender anymore. We're so boring. We're so but you know, we're still here. Okay, we're still out.
Hey, you're not that old, dude. I was just, but like, but this is the quickening. Like, we knew this time would be happening. You know what I mean? Like I grew up like.
Well, I see that more with like AI and all that stuff. When you say the quickening, what do you mean?
I mean, like a shift, like a harmonic convergence. What they were doing back then, like we're all saying that the energy levels are going to get higher. I used to think that we'd be able to see through each other's skin and see the auras of plants. And in some context, we can do that because, like, I used to visualize people's hearts on the outside of their body, like you could see through them, like on Alex Gray thing. But then, like 10 years later, then 10 years later, people are wearing hearts on the those. Or you remember it was big like 8 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, like the shirt with it on there.
Yeah, but it's how it manifests from that reality, the thought, to this material reality, is like it looks different. Like there's thoughts of it, but then how it materializes into this reality is a whole nother. Is different.
That's interesting. Yeah, you know what? I wanted to ask you more when you were describing like your memories from high school. You were saying you're walking through the hallway and it's like you were getting the vibe, all the energy of the room and stuff. And I was trying to I was interpreting that in a couple of different ways. One was in terms of like sort of social anxiety and being a late bloomer. You just kind of like not be able to process the story of everything that's going on around you. Like if you watch a show nowadays, I was just watching Pen 15 last night where that takes place in junior high. There's all these like little dramas going on between all these little students. I feel like I wouldn't have been aware of all students' little dramas and everything back then. It's almost like everyone's just like a background character, except for your friends, I guess. But so, or did you mean that, are you someone who, as an art, especially as an artist, I mean, do you feel like you're sort of on the schizophrenic spectrum where you're sort of seeing like, you're processing the signals of energy around you without necessarily like seeing objects in the same way that I would be seeing them? Or
no, I think it's just like almost in a way it's like just being super sensitive, like don't want things to go bad. And
okay, yeah.
And then you're kind of like when your earmarks, something's going sideways a little bit, my tendrils get a little bit up, like I call it a heat. When in the worst circumstances, it can be like I call it a heat on the back of your neck, but it's not hot. It's not hot. It's just
okay, like the hairs on the back of your neck are standing up, sort of thing.
Something not even like that. It's this weird thing I can't describe, but I felt it around a couple people that I would later be murdered. And
holy shit!
But that's a whole different thing, Juliana Redding and stuff like that. But like I did feel so. I guess I'm just a sensitive guy, As it's just like I want beauty. I know this is all like temporary. This is not. This is I don't know. This is like a menagerie of reality. Like you got these experiences and people that you love that don't love you, and these emotions, and also the aspect of evolution when it comes to humankind. It's like we are obviously bred, like Alan Watts would say, like what the planet does, and I'm probably butchering this, but like as grow peoples, it's peopling.
It's peopling. It's growing people. Like we're the seeds, we're the fruit of the planet.
As of another billion other species below the ground and above the ground.
Yeah, it's it's flowering. It's peopling. Exactly. I love that.
Yeah. And the earth is a flower, so it's like we're just here to enjoy it. Who knows what's after this? Who knows?
Yeah.
But, there's so much greed and like contextual things that happen between people in this town, and
between flowers.
Exactly. That's what they should call it.
Isn't it weird? I like that metaphor. Also, I like thinking about us all as being different leaves on the same tree, like, and actually flowers or seed pods or whatever works too. And I guess it's interesting because a seed pod inherently breaks off from the plant and then it's like becomes its own thing. But on some level, it's still that same thing also. It's like a child tree. So sometimes, when I'm at my most loving, I feel all humans are basically, we're all leaves and branches of the same tree. So that like if one of us survives, we all survive. We should want all to survive. We all have the same sort of like life blood flowing through us and stuff. I find that a comforting thought. And another way I like to think about life is like I think this is also an Alan Watts thing, maybe. It's like a song. It's like basically you can think of your life as one big song, or each experience is like a song. And somebody said, maybe Alan Watts, somebody said something like, life is a song, a concert, let's call it a concert. And then when it's over, like you realize like the whole point was to just be dancing with the concert. Like there was all this music playing for you.
Well, I like that. I like that thing of being in concert with itself. I like that.
Yeah, like it's basically a song is playing out, and there's like all sorts of beautiful parts of the song are happening like right in this moment, even like this conversation, and whatever other beautiful things we see, do today, and the people we interact with. Like those are all special, beautiful nuances of the song that are happening right now. So like, yeah, we should just be dancing along as best we can with this music. Maybe trying to add to the music, add to the art.
Yeah, I mean, and enjoy the planet, you know, because travel and all that stuff. That's why filmmaking is so much fun. Is you get a bunch of people that are your best friends to go someplace great or exotic or not exotic, and have a party and making something really good. You know.
Yeah, it is kind of magical being on a film set, making a film project with your little ensemble cast. I've made a few films the last few years with for the 48-hour film project, which they have every year. Actually, they have it in many different cities around the globe. I think they have
We're
it
gonna
in
show that
Paris.
film. Can we show that film on this?
Yeah, you can put any of them on there.
Okay.
Well, I think I sent you a link to
Yeah,
the channel that has them, and the one that's about a mermaid, that's the one that I'm in as an actor. It's called Making Waves. Great group of
Is that
people.
the one you want to show?
Yeah, because I think that's actually maybe it's the best film I've ever made too. Made it with a great group. You should, well, I'll send you. You can see their credentials in the in the credits, or I can send you like a roster or whatever.
No, just I'll
Lish
play the
Bliss
credits.
Hess
I'll play the
Wesley.
credits.
Okay, nice. Yeah, because it's like I feel like it's very timely. Like we made the whole movie in a weekend, first of all.
Hello, Poseidon's Best Cannery. Okay, don't get salty with me. Okay, you have a nice day.
Hey, Serenity.
I heard about the sewage dump in the ocean. Must be really shitty. Sucks for you.
All right, least favorite movies, go.
Finding Nemo, Free Willy.
Ooh, Deborah, looking sharp. I'm hooked.
Why so salty, Deborah? Crimson Tide come in early this month? What?
Think we got under her scales.
All right, boss, you're with the mermaid. You want the top half to be human or the bottom half?
As long as she doesn't have crabs, I'm good. Deb is here. Come on.
As
Let's
I was saying,
continue.
yeah, we could save a lot of money if we pick up some of that secondhand dolphin meat from the sewage spill.
I think that's a terrible idea.
Deborah, why you always gotta be such a fitch?
We should open up a line of plant-based imitation crab. That way, we get the tax break and we save about $900K a quarter.
You know we work at a cannery, right?
I'm well aware of...
Guys, I just thought of the most brilliant idea. Why don't we go in the direction of plant-based imitation crab meat? It's all the rage these days.
Wow. Did you think of that all by yourself?
Yeah.
I like it.
And apparently she wants to take off because her mother's sick. And I'm like, come on, you gotta give 2 weeks notice, Jen. Just like everybody else.
I mean, so what do they think HR is for?
I mean, that is what it's for.
They've got to be total douchebags to you too, right?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Serenity. I mean, we're in an office full of men. I'm trying to relate here.
Okay, yeah. It's hard being around guys, but what are you gonna do, cry about it?
Never mind.
Smell you later.
Oh, I've never touched a mer person before. That's slippery. I like it. I'm sorry, what do you want to be called?
Deborah.
I mean, your people? Is it merfolk, merperson?
I need the money, but I just don't feel like I fit in here. I'm not sure this is a job.
Shh. I'm Jeff Hahn. I'm the HR guru. That's why they brought me here. Listen, I might be new here, but I've been hired to make sure that we fill all the boxes. And you fit right inside of a certain box called Efficient Action. Okay, Deborah? You see what I'm saying?
I'm not...
Maybe do something really feminine, mothering, nurturing. Bring in food, baked goods. Maybe bagels. Bagels and cream cheese. And don't forget to smile.
Oh, bagels. Where's the locks?
This lawsuit is gonna kill my family company. You guys,
Hey, guys! I think there's something very, very important we're not considering here. Deborah?
I've been waiting for this. We don't have to worry about lawsuits, and we can still be a leader in the industry if we shift our practices. My home is on fire, and if we don't shift to eco-friendly, sustainable practices, even by next quarter, there may not be any more fish to can.
I mean, she's right. You know, you're crushing it. I get all my ideas from you. And I'm sorry. I want to apologize for that.
Deborah, I'm also sorry about the crab comment earlier. Turns out I have crabs, if that makes it any better.
Hey, thanks for doing that back there.
Sure, no problem.
I mean, I feel like it was the first time it was actually heard.
Your first time. It took them 3 years before they started listening to me.
What's your deal?
I'm vegan in an office full of pescatarians.
That makes sense. Do you want to go for a swim?
With you? Yeah, no, sure, yeah.
How long can you hold your breath? My best friend's a bluefin.
Yeah? I'm not really feeling a swim anymore. Let's rain check. See you at work tomorrow?
Uh-huh.
See ya.
you believe there's a mermaid working in this office?
And there was like I think there was a oil spill or something had just happened in real life. We got assigned the genre fish out of water. And so we basically made this film about a mermaid who like just goes into the every day. She like commutes to work on land, like at at the canning plant, and she just has to check in. And so her job is like completely at odds with her being in integrity. Like her coworkers are eating
she's
sushi.
killing her own.
She's killing her own by having this job. So I felt like it was really timely. It kind of is a metaphor for like women in the workplace, minorities in the workplace, feeling overlooked in the workplace, our toxic culture, toxic consumerism culture. Like we hit all these great themes in this little 7-minute movie that we made, wrote and directed and filmed and edited in one weekend. And fuck, I think we might have gotten disqualified though because we couldn't submit it in time. Yeah, that was like the tragedy. Is that we couldn't render. It was like having technical difficulties rendering the film. We were being a little too aspirational with like the final credits or whatever. Like we could have gotten it just done, but we were trying to make it too perfect, and then we didn't get it in time. So you still get to screen it in the festival, but you can't like be selected as best film or whatever. So that and everyone, it was like so disheartening. I felt like I had disappointed my whole team because as team leader, it's my responsibility to make sure it gets done in time, and like I can have people helping me keep an eye on the clock and everything, but ultimately I take responsibility and I feel terrible. I feel like I let them down, but we still got to screen it, and we got like voted audience choice in our screening group, and I'm proud. And the film is up there. Like I thought about submitting it to film festivals, but I never got around to it, and I feel like it doesn't feel as timely and magical anymore. But
I
yeah,
don't know if our film
show that
festival is
film.
even like
They're still
film
totally a
festivals-
thing. They're still totally a thing. I know people that submit to them. They're actually great for networking. I went to the Orlando Film Festival last year with my friend who made a short film, and it was great. And I bumped into people that I knew from LA who are out there promoting their film. I met these guys who are writing a show for HBO about the Lusitania ship. I think that show is supposed to be coming out at some point. And just, I don't know, I had a great time. And that was like a small fringe festival. There's like the big ones, like whatever, Telluride, is that one?
You're right, Film Festival, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and obviously Venice Film Festival. What are the big ones? The Cannes Film Festival.
The Cannes Cons.
Cannes. The Cannes Film Festival. God!
I shall leave you as you left me, as you left her, marooned for all eternity in the center of a dead planet. Buried alive, buried alive.
Film Festival. I've been to the Cannes Film Festival venue. I've stood on the red carpet, but it was like during a visit, like just traveling, and I was in that area. And it's part of a Europe trip, and so like it wasn't during the festival, but I got like a picture of me on the steps. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
Maybe someday I'll actually be there with the film. So these 48-hour film projects, actually, you go. It's like a pyramid of competing. If you win your city, like the winner of Los Angeles faces off against the winners of like Chicago and other cities. It's Filmapalooza, and then the winner of that one goes to like a worldwide competition, and then the winners, like the finalists, get to have a special screening at Cannes, where it's like best of the 48 from around the world. And I know a girl in LA who her film won first place in LA a couple years ago, and she ended up getting to go to Cannes just to see her film. I think she had to pay like her way to get there, but she
you got to pay to
got
play
tickets.
for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, it's true. But if you get tickets to the festival, sometimes that's already worth, hundreds or even thousands of dollars because you get like the VIP. So like when I went to Orlando, I got to go to all the screenings for free because my friend had made a film. So he got to go for free. We got to go. We still paid for our lodging and travel. But then it was just cool. So I like I was inspired after that. I was like, I should make short films and submit them to festivals, like, and also put them online. You're right. That's like,
I have a short film that's going to be at cons that I acted in this year.
is this going to be a con that you acted in? That's
the
awesome.
director is taking it to con. It's a short film.
Awesome.
I play a stalker.
Oh, nice. You got some good stalker. You have some stalker.
Yeah, I got a
energy.
little stalker vibe, right?
I mean, I did meet you on the street.
I did.
when we both may or may not have been of sound mind.
That was hilarious because I was gonna bring a whole bunch of artwork down to the thing. I had my sights set on Shane the money. I was like, oh, these guys are all tripping. I'll bring my psychedelic paintings out to the fucking front of it. And
yeah, I think that was smart.
And I was like, that's a lot of work. And you guys we start talking. And
so you were just on your way out at that point?
I just came back I was off my head on fucking Molly and fucking mushrooms. I had a bunch of artwork. I was like, let's see if we can turn $1 here to make rent. And,
yeah, because we saw you basically with like an armful of canvases, and at first I didn't know what to make of you. I was like, "Is this a crazy guy? Partially crazy?" But then you were super friendly, and I think you took like a great picture of us, and we had a good chat. And my friend was kind of tripping out at the time. I don't know if you remember my friend Brian, who was there.
Yeah, Brian. Brian.
He was off like he was just like interacting with every stranger. I feel like in his
no, Brian or Matt.
Both they were. Yeah, I think Matt actually came in, spent more time.
Left his shirt here. We hung out for fucking like another 2.5 hours after you.
Oh,
left.
you did? Nice. Good for you guys.
He fucking closed the party, dude. I'm gonna get him on the pod. He's funny as shit.
Yeah, he is so funny. Yeah.
He's coming from
Matt's one of the funniest people I know, I would say. He's
coming from that, that betwixt area too, as well, a little bit, I think. Like just talking to him for a while because he's got this show that he's doing. We'll save it for the pod, but like it was like his dance show where he's
I just saw that show.
So I saw that show.
It's great, isn't it funny? Yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times.
I just saw the trailer.
Okay, no, I've seen their show multiple times. They used to do it at West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica, and I've probably
let's plug it.
Thunderbulge. Yeah, you got to go see Thunderbulge. I think.
The following is an announcement from the National Sexy Service. There's a 100% chance of Thunderbulge in your area. These seductive comedians descend from the heavens to bring you an interactive comedy experience like no other. Hot, sexy dance numbers, bootylicious choreography, wild audience contests, rock-hard comedy, and of course, whipped cream. Thunderbulge creates a fun and safe environment. We don't care how you identify. We bring the sexy to everyone. Wild enough for your bachelorette party, but naughty enough for grandma. Seriously, grandmas love us. Get ready to make it rain and let Thunderbulge bring the storm to your next birthday. Girls' night out, boys' night out, or if you're just looking for a sexy good time, oh yeah. Follow the storm at Rock Hard Comedy. For booking and show info, visit thunderbulge.com.
They're doing one next month. I think if you Google Thunderbulge, you'll find it.
It reminds me of he's like the consummate when you meet people and they're like actors and you can say, oh, that's that's obviously, or they're comedians. They're like, that's obviously that's who that is, and he is sort of that, in a way.
Yeah, I can think of a couple.
Sort of like how you are that as well. Who's
my celebrity spirit animal?
I don't know, but you have a big likability factor, which is giant.
Thank you. I've been told that before.
Really? So now that makes you a narcissist, and that's not so likable.
But I remember someone at my first. I know. As soon as you're not humble,
I get that all the time.
Someone at my first job.
In the world.
You're the nicest guy in the world. No, they specifically likable. This guy was just like, well, he's like, you'll do great here because you're so damn likable. And I remember thinking like, oh, that's a nice. If that's true, that's a nice quality, probably. And I feel like I've got that. Like, oh, he's likable.
Being likable, you're still more likable. Even in your inner thoughts, you're like, oh, that's very nice of him to say that. Gosh, I should buy that guy a sandwich.
Yes, he definitely deserves a sandwich.
So
do I.
Yeah, everyone deserves a sandwich. What's your go-to choice? What's your dietary thing? What's your workout plan?
Someone was just asking me about, I was just talking about like my favorite sandwich, and we were like, is the BLT considered a sandwich, or is it like its
Oh,
own special thing? What about a grilled cheese? Is that a sandwich? I mean, it's a grilled cheese sandwich, so it should be. And yet some people are like, no, it's because it's like a toasted cheese. It's different. You can't call that that can't be your favorite sandwich. Oh, I love like a pastrami sandwich, like a
ooh,
Jewish deli pastrami sandwich on rye or something like
hot
that.
or cold?
Yeah, warm that shit up. Warm up that hot pastrami,
I
baby,
want to see that
or
cheese
corned
fucking
beef.
melting. You know what you do is get inside a little jus with that.
Oh, dip it in the au jus. I love an au jus.
It's like candy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the best.
That's a good. That's a good. So you're a meat eater then? You don't have
Yeah.
problems
Oh, you
eating
asked, yeah, my
cow?
dietary. No, I basically eat everything. I think I'm probably mildly lactose intolerant. So like I don't put like cream in my coffee. I put like creamer.
What's
I
the
eat
creamer?
cheese. I
Put
love
the
ice
powdered
cream
stuff?
and cheese. Like I love dairy, so I just basically eat it all the time. I think
What
it
about dairy do you love so
makes
much?
me a little gassy.
Yeah, gassy's fine. You can be in your
What do
party.
I love about dairy? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like the cheese, the goat
Like
cheese.
if there was only one dairy product that I was allowed to eat, it would probably be cheese. Like I love like French cheese, like brie, fucking some brie. I do love grilled cheese sandwiches. I love, like
Oh, so that was
nacho cheese. I
the
love
grilled cheese
Italian
is
cheeses.
real though.
I
That you
love
said the
Parmigiano,
Parmigiano. What's your
Parmigiano Reggiano,
do you ever have a Gruyere?
Gruyere, fantastic. Oh, like and you make cheese fondue out of it. I
You can do
love
anything
me
you
some
want. You
cheese fondue.
put it in your ear if you want. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's too hot. Get that fork out of here. Yeah, I love Gruyere. And what are the other Swiss cheeses? The one with the holes. You got Emmentaler. Dude, I
It's
know a lot
throwing
of
out some
cheeses
lingo. This
actually.
is some fucking cheese talk,
Gorgonzola, Roquefort. What's
motherfucker.
that other? What's that? What's
Roquefort, motherfucker.
Roquefort, motherfucker? I was actually just like my girlfriend and I. We like You met her. You met Alex. We like
Alex is
dirty.
wonderful. You should marry her.
Isn't she likable too? She's so damn
Wow.
likable.
Wow, you guys are the
Alex,
cutest
you're so.
couple.
I know. Aren't we great?
She's amazing. She's fucking great.
You're so
I
damn
still want
likable, Alex. We should start a show based on our likability. We don't have to be funny. We don't have to be
it's called
entertaining.
likability.
Likability, yeah. Our
You just do
likability
the whole
goats.
show on that. Are you likable?
The Beverly Likeable.
Yeah, like you can smash the button. Off the
Okay.
show. Next. Are
Next.
you likable? You got 5 seconds.
Actually, want to do a little party. Maybe we should organize a party with you. We want to just do a party where there's like karaoke, a little open mic at like in a backyard
Let's do this.
situation.
Let's do this place.
The place where you're at right now?
Yeah, don't say the name.
I
But
won't.
The place where we met you.
Oh yeah, dude, let's do it. Let's do a party there.
Yeah, I want to do an art show thing too. But
Yeah, no, have it like an art party. And actually, Alex loves art. Her grandmother's a really famous artist.
Nice.
And like we've been to her shows and stuff. It like
I have this guy
art
that can do
museums.
this musician guy named Alex or no Alex something Jason Alex I don't know. Well this is all like happening right now, but I just met him the other day trying to because I put a studio in the bottom of this place. Like
You
an
met
art-
him the other day while you were hustling around with some canvases while
No,
you were canvassing.
well a lot's happened since then. But like this guy, this kid, he needs a place to play and he's fucking super good. So
We started up a whole oyster full of bliss. Took the liquid out the grass until the way through the night. Now I'm getting down because I'm only getting by. Liquid out the grass until the way through the night. I'm home, way up there. the one. Westway, glitter and the sun. See, now we are just a generation flying through an animation. Pills and pills to satisfy our needs towards our destination. We all seem to understand truth fits down in our demand and break it to yourself. To let go and be yourself. Run wild with everyone else and never threaten no one else. And just be careful to yourself. Be happy this is I'm home. Way there. Hey! Don't compare. I feel she's the one. Westway, the glitter and the sun.
So I might have him do some music.
Oh, the kid plays music?
He's really good. He told me his like story about like producer, well-known producer, not the album's is like 70% done. But
Wow.
the guy is too busy to finish it, and so he's kind of he's in a holding pattern.
Okay.
You know, he's not
how old is this kid? Like an actual kid, or is it like
25.
oh, okay, like a 25. And but what does he play? Like a bunch of instruments, or
Guitar,
he's
vocals. He's a
yeah,
really
I
good
love
musician.
I love like going to live music events. It's like one of my favorite things.
So, I mean, he wants a place to play, and I was like, well, why don't you come?
Oh yeah. No, that would be the perfect. That's like who we want to get is people who just want a little exposure, just play or even have fun, practice in front of a crowd. I met a girl at a party last week who's a singer. I was like, yeah, you could come, sing. She's like, yeah, she's kind of new to town. I'm like, yeah, you meet people. There's a lot of just musically talented people just around.
There's so many talented people in the world, man. And the thing is that sometimes they don't get the break they want or think
Yeah.
they need. And there's all these different types of scenarios that can happen with people like not getting. But when you realize the fun is in the doing, the fun is
Yeah.
in the doing. So like if your
Totally is.
aspirations are this like, and you want to fucking make Marvel movies, no way. There's no way
Yeah, it's like winning the lottery.
in that movie at all. So if you're creative, you just keep on doing your shit. Don't you remember when you were a kid and you just did shit for the fun of it?
Yeah, just
You
get
gotta
out your
keep that. You
paper and
gotta
start
keep
drawing.
that. What's that?
Yeah, you just get out your paper and start drawing, whatever, for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get that back too. Yeah, and I've actually been doing it kind of with music lately. I just started trying to like practice like singing. I love karaoke. I'm actually like I joined a jazz vocal ensemble recently through Santa
What does that
Monica.
mean? Are you jazzing out
It's
with
like a
guitar?
40 like it's a 40-person chorus.
Are
We
you
met
doing,
we
like,
met last night.
You doing scat?
Yeah, Zippity Bye. We're doing like Route 66. I mean, I'm just starting out in it, but they do it. There's like Scat Break or whatever, and you can come see our show. I think it's like end of May.
So is scat okay? This is gonna be very controversial.
Oh my goodness. I don't think I have the answer to whatever the question is because I don't know anything about the history of scat.
Is scat a real thing?
In terms of it being in music, like
Is
Scooby
it even real when you're listening to it? Is it like
Yeah, no, they're
is it a
good.
reality that we all must face? Is it here to stay?
Are you meaning? Am I supposed to be reading between the lines on what scat is?
I'm not sure if I like it or what. I don't know what it is.
I'm a scat man.
Well,
It brings
from
up
what
different
I
emotions. I've never felt emotions when I listen to people scatting. It's like, do I repel it? Did you ever see the girl from
I've heard entertaining scatters. Like I like improvisation.
improvisation? Yeah.
Improvisize. I do improv. Why can't I say the fucking word? I love improvised music. Well, I love going to music jams, and I love because they'll do. It's like you see the structure. Okay, there's like the chorus, and then somebody goes off and does their solo, and I feel like I have so much more appreciation for that now, because I've never been able to get to that level musically where I can like perform really with a group and just keep going. Like, so musicians who can kind of just keep the beat going, keep the music going, and then okay, they know that it's this guy's solo right now. He's got it. And then yeah, a vocalist could do fucking scat or just weird. I've even done it in like a karaoke. Like you go to live band karaoke, and then so they're just like playing. You have to know the song pretty well because you don't have the scrolling words. You basically have to know it. But if you forget the words, or if you just want to do like a whole extra verse of like made up shit or whatever, like that's actually when I feel most alive. Is probably like trying to come up with live, music or doing improv comedy. I just feel like I haven't quite experienced getting in the sweet spot with it. I'm trying to get in now. There's musical improv, which is like where you're trying to combine the two, obviously, like make an improvised musical. And I haven't really fully embraced it yet, but I feel like that might be that might be perfect for me because I love singing, dancing, and trying to get in sync with people. And
do you have a good voice?
I have an okay voice. I don't know. People tell me I have a good voice for.
Can you carry a note? Like, can you? Or like.
I feel like I do drift. I'm trying. Yeah. No. I sing. I do like "Creep" by Radiohead if I'm doing karaoke, and I feel like I sometimes really get like lost in the music, and I feel like I'm really just belting it out. I was like, oh, should I try to sing something now? But now I'm feeling so nervous. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'll show. Maybe I can send a video of me.
Where's your favorite karaoke spots that you're going to and doing karaoke at?
Well,
Where
they
can
do
people
this.
catch you at your next karaoke.
They do live band karaoke at Harvell's on 4th Street in Santa Monica on Wednesday nights.
shit.
It's like do you know how Harvell's?
Of course, Toledo.
Yes. It's like great. It's like a little dive bar kind
Been
of, but
trying to
it's
get
like
Toledo on here for like 3 years.
wait, who's Toledo?
Toledo does that like burlesque. He's
Oh.
cigars shows there. He's been doing it there for like 20 years.
Oh, that sounds fun. Is that still happening?
Diamond Toledo Diamond. Or
Toledo Diamond? Okay.
He's
Is that a
been doing
dude?
it
Is that a
for-
dude?
It's a dude.
I'm gonna look for him. Toledo
Yeah,
Diamond.
he's wild. I gotta get him on, but he's obtuse. But anyway,
There's a place that does what's that other place in Santa Monica on 20th and Wilshire? It's like Gaslight.
Gaslight.
Yeah, that place has karaoke every single night, and it's like always full. Like that's all they do.
And you get really good people there. You get
Yeah,
people
you do
actually
get
that,
really good
like,
people.
Actually, like should have been a superstar.
The only problem with that place is it's like so popular that you often, if you get there too late, you can't even sing once. And like if you're lucky, you sing once on most nights that I've been there.
Oh, so it's a kick.
Yeah, so it's like I guess my ideal thing is have like a party where it's like all your own people, but still big enough that it feels like you have an audience. Like I've also been to those karaoke rooms where you have like 8 people or 10 people in the room, and that's fun. I actually love that too, but you don't quite have the audience feeling with that. Like I like feeling like a rock star, man. So actually that's why like for my birthday party last year, we set up karaoke in the backyard, and it was great. Like people were loving it. I sing Mellow Yellow sometimes.
Mellow Yellow.
It's like he's just mad about saffron.
Do you want to do music? I see. Do you have an
Mad
instrument?
about me.
Play a song. Do a song. You got your instruments.
You want to hear me sing karaoke to Mellow Yellow? I can play it through my system here.
Yeah, do it. And you know
I'm
what?
wearing a yellow shirt.
I'm gonna take a pee real quick.
Okay.
And
Can we just pause this thing, or
No,
you'll
no,
be
no,
editing it, right?
You play. We'll cut it in. We'll make it.
Oh, okay. While you go pee.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Mellow
you have to come
Yellow.
back while. But actually, Mellow Yellow is perfect peeing song.
This
This will be our pee break song.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay, I guess I'll just start without him. You people are my audience. I don't feel like I'm ready. I'm in a good singing space. I'm just mad about saffron. Saffron's mad about me. I'm just mad about saffron. She's just mad about me. They call me Mellow Yellow. Quite rightly. They call me Mellow Yellow. Quite rightly. They call me Mellow Yellow. I'm just mad about voting. Voting's mad about me. I'm just mad about voting. She's just mad about me. They call me Mellow Yellow, quite rightly. They call me Mellow Yellow, quite rightly. They call me Mellow Yellow. In that last line, it sounds like they're saying 14, not voting. Born high forever to fly, a wind of velocity nil. Born high forever to fly. If you want your cup, I will fill. They call me Mellow Yellow, quite rightly. They call me Mellow Yellow, quite rightly. They call me Mellow Yellow. So mellow, yellow, yellow. I feel like my singing is a little off. Need to practice. This singing break is brought to you by Brett Wood's podcast. The instrumental break is almost over. I got my wireless headset here. Woo! Let me bring it home. Let me bring it home. Electrical banana is gonna be a sudden craze. Electrical banana is bound to be the very next phase. They call it Mellow Yellow. They call it Mellow Yellow. They call me Mellow Yellow. I'll fade it out here. Beep, 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 boop, boo. All right,
See,
that's my performance.
Fantastic.
I feel like I have sort of a weak voice. Like I easily lose my voice. I think I need to warm up or something. I get too
like, are there
raspy.
exercises though, like linoleum?
There are.
Aluminum, linoleum.
Aluminum, linoleum, aluminum. Yeah, I got it. You're supposed to sing through a straw. Also, you're supposed to be like.
That's tedious. Just belt it out. You think Lady Gaga does that?
No, it helps you with your wind. What do they call it? Air. There's a word for it.
Passageway to your throat, to your tongue.
Passageway to your throat. Your wind control. Your air supply control. Your
air
support.
To, life ratio.
Your air to life ratio. Your Bernoulli principle. I have a concave chest too. I have like low air lung capacity. See, all these physical things are against me, but despite all that, I still think I have. I'm kind of like the boy in the bubble. Yeah, that's why I can't leave this place. I actually have an actual bubble right there. So if I need to bounce around on it. No, my immune system is fine, which is
I'm normal, god damn it.
I'm normal, okay? I just get winded easily.
Really? So have you ever been a runner?
No, what's funny and sad is that I was like a really, really fast for sprinting. I was like, I kind of wish I had trained to like see how, like in my prime, see how fast I could have run the 100-yard dash or something. I was a really fast sprinter, but I was terrible anything endurance or stamina. If I had to do like even a pickup game of basketball for like 5 minutes, so like maximum intensity, I'd be at the sidelines, like literally throwing up. It's like this weird thing where like I throw up after intense exercise. It's been super annoying.
Did you eat before the show or before you did the thing? Did you eat
tonight
like a hot dog dinner or something before you ran? Or what'd you puke up? What was that?
No, I mean whatever I had eaten that day. Like I remember it just happening in school once or twice. Like I think I just had an electrical banana for breakfast, and then I threw up the banana. After we had to run in gym for 20 minutes or something. I'm like, I'm going to throw up. And then I remember it happening.
Yeah. You run that shit, dude. You fucking faggot.
Like I honestly felt like I've steered away from any kind of organized team sports most of my life because I feel like I have this insecurity that I might have to throw up from like a really embarrassingly
Hey,
low
look,
amount
everybody,
of.
he's throwing up. What a pansy. Look at him. He's weak.
Okay, I threw up in front of my nephew and niece who are like 7 and 5. A couple of weeks ago, I was visiting them in Indianapolis, where my parents and my brother and his family live, my niece and nephew. And they spun me around on their little like tire swing thing. It's like a bigger than a tire swing, but it's a
Oh,
circle.
Jesus Christ.
And they spun me around, like twisted up the
Joke
ropes.
is over, buddy.
And then I was like, oh shit. And I'm like slightly hungover too. And it's like going around. I'm like, I need to get off this thing like right now. And then when I finally like stumbled off of it, I'm like, oh. I went and like lay down on the grass. And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. And I stand up and they're just like, Uncle Mikey, are you okay? And I'm like, oh, like get out of my way. And I go over to a tree and just like puke in the tree. And they're like, oh my God, Uncle Mikey, are you okay? And then the little one's like, oh, did he throw up? I want to see. She's like, I wanted to see. And I was like, yeah, there's my scrambled eggs right there. So it was humiliating. It's like a lifelong weakness of mine. But you know, like you, I'm a sensitive guy. I've got these vulnerabilities.
I get it. I get it. Life is like the Bible's not really a handbook to fucking. I'm seeing him bringing it around to the religious stuff.
Here's the preaching.
Bible's not, there's no handbook to life. We're animals of this planet. We're born of this planet. We are. When they see the structural animal like the fins of a dolphin, there's like fingers in, the skeletal fingers in there, right?
Oh, I didn't really know that. So they're like.
They're at one time had hands or paws.
Oh, so their paws basically evolved into their fins? That's
Well,
so cool.
They look like actually a human hand.
Interesting. Well,
Or
they
like
did evolve
not
from
with
a.
a thumb, but the way it looks like the bridge, these tendrils coming out into whatever.
Oh man.
The
Yeah, so probably when mammals went back into the water, they did have hands, and then they started like using them as fins. So they probably had webbed fingers, and then little by little, get more and more.
Do you believe in Atlantis?
I mean, sometimes it blows my mind that any of this actually happened, but I for the most part, believe in all that evolution. I don't know anything about Atlantis except it's like this lost city that's underwater or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it like a myth? Was it a place?
It's
like,
probably.
I
think it's a real place, but I also think there's places before Atlantis as well.
Like, do you think?
Like just I think the planet is in a way this what Deepak Chopra once called the human soul being like the radio is the body and the signal is the soul.
Yeah, like the body is an antenna more so than like a computer.
It's a holder that can hold the frequency.
Yeah.
Of what needs to be alive at that point. And I think there's been many, many different things happening on many different levels.
On many different frequencies.
Yeah, many different frequencies for sure.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
basically I want to believe some of that. Yeah, my friend is all about how the body's more of an antenna than a computer.
Have you ever seen a dead body?
Oh, good question. Well, I was on a train once that ran over a guy. I think the guy committed suicide, and they stopped the train.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I saw a train murder, and then they let us off. They're like, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a medical emergency. We're going to be stopped here for a while. If you have an alternate way to continue your journey, you're welcome.
They didn't say what happened?
And this was in Chicago. They did not say what happened at all. Just medical emergency. This was in Chicago when I had my first job. I went in on a weekend. I was like behind on my work. I had like a real job where I had to like finish a project, and I was like, I better go in on the weekend. And coming home on a Sunday afternoon, we were waiting for like 20 minutes and like, okay, get off.
Oh, God damn it. What the fuck? Get that body off the fucking rails right now. I need to go home.
Yeah, so it was a Main Street in like basically Evanston, I think south of where I live, but north of Chicago. And I knew that there was an L stop at Main. I was like, I'll just get off and walk over from this metro train to the L and take the L the rest of the way home. But getting off the train on the platform, I heard someone in the group say, I can't believe they let us see that. And then in that moment, I turned over and looked, and I basically saw like the bottom half of a person, like the legs the person had been cut in half by the train.
And was it off the tracks? Was it on the side of it? Or was it?
It was like, it was like 40 feet away. It was before the platform.
Kind of popped off?
I couldn't see, the train was just still sitting there. So presumably the torso and stuff was under the train. I couldn't see that. That would have probably been more gruesome. It was like, far enough away that it wasn't like that gruesome.
40 feet away from the track?
No. It was 40 feet away from where I was along the track on the platform, so it was like back. But I saw a woman kneeling down, like a woman who almost like as if she was traumatized or shocked, which she probably was. But in my mind, I was like, oh my God, was that like the mother? And like her child got loose and fell in front of the train, and her child was like cut in half right in front of her eyes. I was like, I had no idea what the actual story was. So it was really traumatic, actually. And I was like 23 or something at the time.
Can I ask you a quick question? Was the mood of the area when that happened? When you're there, what was the audible sound like?
The mood was exactly that. I can't believe they let us hear it. That it was like little by little, people were like, "Oh my God, what the fuck?"
Was it quiet?
Yeah, but there was probably some authority figure was like yelling some shit to her. But I was just like, I got out of there. I was like, oh my God. I was kind of like, and I remember just like walking over to the other train and being like, holy fuck, like trains are so scary. Because when I was a little kid, I was kind of afraid of trains too. Like we lived near the train crossing, and to get to the park, you had to wait for the gates to go down and come back up to go to Maple Park. And I was like so freaked out that the train would come, like I'd be caught between the gates and I'd be like, oh no, how do I get out of here? So it re-traumatized me for trains. And weirdly enough, yeah, and like I went the next day, I actually asked like a Metro employee. I was like, "Hey, so what happened? There was like a death on the rails yesterday." And someone said, "Oh yeah, an elderly gentleman commits suicide by lying in front of the tracks." And I actually was a little bit relieved that it was an elderly person who was committing suicide rather than like a young person who accidentally fell, because I was like, well, at least it was someone who wanted to go. It made it seem a little bit less traumatizing. But I remember calling my sister and talking.
Are you suicide positive?
I mean, in a sense, like if someone is like really miserable, I don't like hold it against them. Like, oh, you fucking can't believe that person like left all of us behind. Like in general, I'm against it. Like I think most people have people that will miss them when they're gone. But you know, if someone's really suffering or something like that, I don't know. It's a whole philosophical discussion. I wouldn't say I'm suicide positive. But I would, if I know someone's going to die, I would rather it be someone who's suicidal and who's in pain and wanted to die than someone who accidentally was snuffed out at an early age. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have assisted suicide in like Oregon, and there's recently this stand-up Michael Laird did that. He euthanized himself.
Really, Michael Laird? I have to Google him too.
He's a big Kill Tony guy.
Oh my God, you're so awesome.
Thank you.
Keep coming back. We fucking love you. You'll always have a place here at Kill Tony.
Thank you. Oh, have you tried CBD? It's like weed, but it won't get you high. Fuck that! Give me some crack cocaine!
Michael, you are unstoppable. What's up with the Superman outfit tonight?
It's a metaphor for what a hero I am.
Last week, he destroyed again, and he called out Luis J. Gomez. He said that he's gonna kill so hard that he's gonna have to invite him to Skankfest.
You look like a fucking hot dog.
I said you online. I DM'd him. I was like, dude, I will fight you tonight on Kill Tony.
Oh, what's happening?
Michael, you're coming to Skankfest. I don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, you're going to Skankfest, buddy. Boom.
Half the reason I'm in a wheelchair is because my dick's so heavy.
Why the hell shouldn't we make history here tonight and announce you as the first ever third regular in the history of Kill Tony? Anything else crazy we need to know about before
just blowing up and enjoying the ride.
Wow. He's a tank.
Oh!
I'll be like, this fuck out of here, yo.
You're a great actor. Stand up. Show him all you got.
He's just massaging his face. Oh no, he's shaking.
Oh, get out of here! You are the quarantine king of comedy. David, hit it! Wizard of Oz.
If I only had brains.
Les Mis.
Master of the house, keeper of the inn.
He's got him, man.
Tra-la-la-la-la-la. Oh, bring it down.
Oh, yeah.
Down at the new heroin. Stand at the still heroin.
Vape Thing. Future Truth Teller. Vape Thing. Future Truth Teller.
Hey, roses are red, violets are blue. If I turn blue, call 911. Ow! Oh! Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack's quick showing off. Oh! Dice.
Michael Laird is really fucking funny. He didn't have cerebral palsy or whatever. Don't quote me on what he had, but he came down with something really fast.
But he did have something bad, man.
But he could still tell jokes. And Kill Tony's a really good source for new stand-up growing things. They were at the Comedy Store, then they moved to Texas. Now they're in fucking Rogan's place. They're just getting bigger and
Oh
bigger.
wow.
Yeah, Tony.
Well, do you know that Robin Williams had a degenerative brain disease? A lot of people don't know that. They just thought he was depressed and committed suicide, but he had like a really bad.
No, he is getting ill really quick.
I think it was maybe Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease, which I believe I have a cousin on my mom's side who had it, and she was like a wonderful mom, and she's like the mom of my cousin who's the same age as me, and I think there's 4 siblings, and their mom just within a couple of months of getting the diagnosis, she was gone. It's just a really sad, unfortunate disease, and I think that Robin Williams either had that or a different one. And
what Robin, from all the accounts that I've been, I love Robin Williams. I've been a big follower for like many times, so I know some people that knew him. Well, name names, but the one thing that I got
Jay Moore.
That's where stand-up is, right there. That's a callback. That's good.
Callback.
You can do stand-up. I don't think you can't do anything. I think.
Thank you.
Well, you get that likability factor.
Thank you.
That's a huge, giant thing.
I'm gonna put that on my tombstone.
Like
Brentwood says, I don't believe you can't do anything.
Well, I like that you balance it with the creative as a hobby, and you have your day job, which I would never. The structure of that would never fly with me. I can't do that. I try.
Yeah, I should.
But I'm too old now to do. I'd rather just get in a squirrel suit and jump off a cliff
and go nuts.
Go nuts. Let's get nuts.
Let's get in the squirrel suit and go nuts. But yeah, you're saying about Robin Williams.
He was really. He was. Do you remember how good he looked before he passed away?
Yeah,
he looked like he was in the best shape, like better shape than any of us.
Yeah, he was like really. Yeah, he seemed like he was really into fitness and shit.
Yeah, he was really fit.
In Good Will Hunting, he says he can bench press like 315 or something like that.
He's a mime. He was a mime.
He's a beast.
No, like a mime. He's actually a real.
Oh yeah, he's like an acrobat. He's like an athletic.
Yeah,
performer with monkey arms.
It was real monkey.
Yeah, he had really hairy monkey.
Popeye was amazing. I love that movie. I thought it was Popeye there for a little bit. But he never was the same after he got his heart surgery done, where they pulled the heart out of the box and put it back in.
I didn't know that happened to him.
Yeah, he had a heart thing that happened where they pulled the heart out of the body and then they put it back in to adjust it.
That's so scary.
Well, he lived, and that's when he fucking looked on top of his game. He got a new TV show with Michelle Gellar, and he was on top of the world. But
after the heart surgery.
But a thing with that procedure is a lot, and I'm no physician. Don't quote me. I'm nobody. Just a painter guy that like that makes pretty pictures and movies. But there's a high suicide rate with people that have that procedure done to them.
Oh man, I could believe it. I think maybe with any major surgery, it takes a lot out of you, literally. Hopefully, puts it back
So
in.
if he had that on top of that,
Oh yeah, man, that's a 1-2 punch. Yeah, already suffering from the heart thing, and then yeah, I mean either one of those.
depression.
So yeah, I'm not here to shame anyone for committing suicide. If it's your time to go, sometimes it is. I've had close friends who have committed suicide as well, and it's very sad.
This is it. But we will right now. You know what? We're gonna put a suicide prevention hotline number across.
Yeah, put that number up there. Stick around, all of you people.
Yeah,
You want to
don't
hear?
commit suicide. If you're gonna do that, just fucking travel the world instead, and just like be an antelope that eats by bear at some point.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't that be funner?
That would be, yeah, it would be better. Well, can I tell this story? Basically, I heard a story that I heard on NPR, and it's about assisted suicide, and it was one of the most touching things I've ever heard on NPR. Like, this is kind of an amazing story, and maybe I could end with that. I think maybe I feel like we need to do another, like a part 2 of this. I think this was a great session, by the way. I've like really been enjoying this, and I feel like I've only just begun to share my life story and get to yours. So
Let's do it
if you want to
again.
do another one, do you want to do? We could do number 196 also. You know, if you do another 98
Do
after
you want
this
to
one.
wait 3 years to do another episode?
No,
Because
I mean
how
maybe
long it's
sooner.
It's taken 3 years to get to this episode.
I don't think I do want to wait that long. No, I think we should do. Well, what do you think? Maybe have you back in 20 episodes, 21, 33,
No, let's not call it so hard because I
44.
can't really make distinctions like a time and space.
Yeah.
So how's your spatial activity? Do you know what's between you and other things?
Oh yeah,
like,
decent.
you
I mean,
down
like
or
I'm not a great like battlefield like quarterback or like good at doing like real time athletic shit like that, but I'm fine. Like I don't know, I'm kind of handy. I can like throw a ball and shit. What's your?
No,
why
I
do you
don't.
ask?
I'm not asking you to play sports with me.
What are you asking?
Because I still got to walk up into those. I got figured out, but like your connection to all things, like it seems like you're pretty well rounded individual.
Thank you. I was hoping
and-
you'd say that.
This is better than rehearsal. This is.
And I'm likable.
I'm glad we rehearsed this all.
Me
Dialogue.
too. Well, my
Um,
friend says the practice is the performance.
So, do you plan on doing? True. Are you planning on doing anything like like are you gonna do any stand up or like what's your-
I
what do you wanna do? Let's rock.
am going
Let's end
to.
it. Let's wrap it up.
I need to get out there. I need to go do
Can you
like
get a tight
moth.
5
I want
minutes?
to do a moth radio hour.
Moth?
type- Yeah, like storytelling. I got stories I'd like to tell. I
Do
do
you
want
wanna
to.
do- why don't you
I
just
want to
do your own
sing and
podcast?
dance. What?
Why don't you just do your own podcast?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and actually, this has been
Should.
so fun that I think, yeah, well, I should just start my own.
It's the best. It's the
You
best.
spun me up. Maybe you've like seeded me.
Oh God!
As the peopling
Be careful.
continues.
Use an ointment on that.
I know you be careful. You be careful where you're seating, buddy. Don't just seat anywhere.
Everybody. No, I think you got a lot to tell, and but also your creativity is like in this like different dynamics. You got like this really great background of like I don't know. It seems like you got it fucking balanced out, like pretty good. Like your life has been.
Thank you.
But you've had it pretty good for like a long time. Well,
I've had it pretty good. I consider myself a lucky person.
Maybe you don't need it so good after.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I need to be taken down a notch. I've had I've gone through. I might need to be taken down a notch. But you know, it's funny because I can compare myself to people who I think I'm like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm fortunate, and then I'll see other people and I'll be like, oh my God, I want what they have, this, that, and that. I don't have all that. Like you can focus on what you don't have. You can focus on what you do have, or none of the above. And I do think it's good to be grateful for wherever you are and whatever you do have. And there's so many things to be grateful for, and I am. So yeah, I got that going. But I think it's also fun to talk about your struggles, and like I feel like I've had a lot of like weird shit happen to me too that I love talking about.
Yeah, it's good. You know what? It becomes like I like this format because it becomes like a you never know what's going to happen. So there's you know how it took us about 10 minutes to get into it, like right it kind of there's the long format.
Yeah, but I
It's
didn't
kinda
feel
like,
awkward. I felt like we got smooth really quickly. Like I felt comfortable really quickly. But yeah, yeah.
but like to open up to actually what we end up going into, like different areas. Like I never knew that we would be talking about some of the subjects that we've been talking about.
Yeah, me neither.
So
it had no agenda.
Which makes it into a now space, which is really kind of fun. And but to keep that, but like that's why
You should flash the word "now space" on the screen, right? When anyone says "now space," including that time, you should just put it on there, like flash it really quick.
Right now, it's on the screen still.
Don't just flash it. Really, just be like "now space," just like, and then take it away immediately.
Because
do it for that one too.
When it comes down to it, like I'll use that. Like right now, we're on planet Earth in the middle of space, generated by a sun. That who knows how long that's going to go for. It is a ball of fire.
Goodness gracious.
So what do you... Great balls of fire. What do we do with our time here on planet Earth? Seems like I'm excited. Did you end up reading Return to Sender yet?
No. Thank you for sending it to me. I haven't read it, and it's been a hectic week, but I will. And I'm going to send it to my girlfriend too. She's like she's an English professor. She loves reading. She loves reading, and she's a great.
Oh gosh, what's her name?
She'll have good notes for you, Alex.
Can you have her immediately let me know what she thinks?
Yeah, Alex, you have to read this.
And also for you, because I was thinking, because we're, it's off the cuff, and I wanted people to do. I wrote the role for myself as Johnny.
Okay.
It's an ensemble cast, but I mean,
you thought of yourself as Johnny.
Well, you write the parts for yourself, right? Like this is, but like, I don't know. Let me know what you think about being that part, because it's
okay.
It's an interesting part. Fairuza Balk is who I really wanted for Sheila.
Fairuza Balk. Okay.
Yeah. But like now times have changed, but like we'd have to, if you read that script and like it, let me know what you think. But like I think we could actually make it happen. Maybe if it's gonna happen now, it's not gonna ever happen ever.
How do you spell Fairuza? F-A-R?
Fairuza Balk. Come on. She's like an icon. She was in The Craft and History of American X.
Is she? Wait, hold on. Let me look her up. Really quick. Balk?
I'm trying to get her on the podcast, actually. Fairuza, I'm trying. Come
on. Yeah, she is great. I think we just saw her in a flashback from last night, and I was like, trying to name her. Yeah, I remember her.
She's great. She's very loving soul. Really creative person.
So I think of her for Sheila. Sheila.
But like that's who the role is written as the visual.
Okay.
But now we're in 2023, and
so things can change.
So, well, it's the same. I've aged out of the role a little bit, but it's probably better that way because I can see it more. Like
as a writer.
Well, I'm a director writer.
And like more three-dimensionally.
Well, I'm not gonna have to take that role on because when I wrote it, we were thinking we'd make it in a year from when wrote it.
I do think it's a good exercise to when you're writing, like try to have an actor in mind, someone specifically that's not you. Because I also, in trying to write a script, for a while I was like, well, this character is me, and it was annoying me that I had to either every trait either had to somehow reflect in me, and I was having to deal with if I was okay with that. But then when I gave myself permission to just be just think, what if it was Will Ferrell or some completely different actor playing this person?
It's an anchor. It's a latch to latch onto.
Yeah, it's like a mental anchor. Yeah.
But the story remains the same. Like the story.
Yeah.
The main hook, all those different characters. If you have a really good story, you can fucking put Mickey Mouse in the role and it'll fucking be great.
That's true.
If the story is there, you get a Jack Nicholson, you get somebody who supersedes the medium in which is being told. If you can do that with because there's so many different ways to spread information and even if your future podcast that you're going to be doing, it's an outlet to exude that creativity, which is kind of a fun place to be.
Yeah, I agree.
It's fun. And you don't look at the likes, and stuff like that, the followers and stuff like that. It's kind of funny because
I'm all about likes.
Are you are you a competitive person?
Well, no, I'm just saying I like likes. I'm likable.
Really?
No, I mean I'm hunger for validation, just like anyone else.
That's
I guess.
the actor. No, that's not like anybody else. That's the actor. Actors like
Yeah,
validation.
I have the actor thing of wanting validation and needing. Yeah, I feel like my need for love is actually an asset that I bring to the world. Sometimes I'm even vulnerable about that.
That's the key to your likability, you motherfucker. You're fucking likable even when you're not likable.
I'll take it.
So are you gonna do okay? So we're gonna wrap it up. I know you got a real job to go to. And
I gotta feed the pigs.
You gotta feed the pigs? What'd you say? Feed the pigs?
I gotta feed the pigs. I gotta wash the barn. I got a lot of chores to do.
You got some hee-haw stuff? Like
Yeah, I gotta water my plants. I've got some mint on the balcony so that I can make my mint juleps. Which I know you enjoy.
I do enjoy myself a mint julep. So what can people expect from you in the future?
Don't give up on me. Don't give up on Michael Stone. You haven't heard the last of me yet. I am trying to maybe find inspiration to someday do like cut the cord, maybe cut the day job cord and actually try to do something career wise. Maybe just have the courage to get up and try more stand up. Also, I think we're going to be maybe organizing some parties, just like basically open mic style parties, but also just fun, just like hang out with cool people type of things. So obviously, you have to be pretty cool to be invited. So not just anyone watching. I mean, Jay Moore, maybe. We'll see. We'll see if Jay Moore can get into
I would
this
love
party.
to talk to that guy again. I would just want to get the footage. I just want to see what that looked like, what they cut together with that. Because I was like, that's a lot to take in.
Yeah, I can't wait to see
When
it.
the comics aren't having fun, every comic that came on there looked like they fucking wanted to absolutely not be there.
Gouge their own eyes out. When the comics aren't having fun, we know we're in trouble. Yeah.
So we'll put together a little show. We'll get
Yeah, we should do a little.
everything
We
together?
should do a show where, and also maybe artists could bring their art too. I feel like that would be good. You could set up your art,
I think
or it can all be your art. I don't know.
Yeah,
if you
it's
want
all
to corner the market on the art.
no. We're gonna do the marketing on that just
I
because
have another friend who wanted to do organize art parties too, and I haven't talked to him for a while. I should get back in touch with him, see if and then maybe.
What's his name, or where's he based out of?
His name is Aaron, and he's based here, and he's here in LA. He's and also somebody who has, as far as I know, I haven't talked to him for a while, a day job, but does art on the side. And he does kind of like raunchy cartoons and stuff. It's like kind of offensive, like pushing the envelope, political cartoon type
Like,
stuff.
It's a cat sort of stuff. Ralph Bakshi.
Total Fritz the
Penetration
cat
box.
type stuff. Like his style is even sort of similar to that. But he's a good artist. He drew me one time live at a party in 5 minutes, like my contours and stuff. I totally recognize myself in his drawing.
Well, you recognize yourself in everything. You're a narcissist.
Exactly. So that's not really
you're
saying
like,
much about.
That's me.
I'm like, is
Stop
that me?
it.
Am I everywhere? I see a little bit of me in you.
I know it's me.
There, a big surprise.
So you know who I am? Come on.
Oh, I mean, wait, you don't know who I am? Wait, what?
Did you ever see that movie, The Big Picture, with that?
I don't think so. The
Kevin
Big
Bacon.
Picture?
The Big Picture with Kevin.
Oh, with Kevin Bacon? No, I don't think I have. I'll write that down.
Oh my God. You've never seen The Big Picture?
I recently lost my cell phone, and then I lost all my notes, and I had like a list of all the movies I wanted to watch and stuff.
Have you seen Young Frankenstein?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Saw it recently.
That's my trigger. It's like
People haven't seen that. Yeah.
I was like,
Unacceptable. No, I went through way too much of my life without having seen it, but don't worry, I'm cool now. So the big picture with Kevin Bacon.
Oh my God! It's directed by the guy that did Waiting for Guffman. Jamie Lee Curtis's husband.
Oh.
What's the fucking his name?
Is his name also Curtis? Tony Curtis? No.
No, that's a different guy. What a life he led, though. You know, Tony Curtis. Could you imagine being Tony Curtis?
Hardly. I can't even imagine it. Frankly.
Like, what kind of life that motherfucker? He played Houdini.
That's a hard role to get out of.
And he fucked.
We can all be proud of Tony Curtis, and I'm sure his dad's proud of him too. All that fucking. This was such a nice show that we could show our moms until you said that.
Oh,
Gosh,
I went rogue on you. I'm sorry. I know we're trying to wrap it up. But I know, but it's just so much fun. I just have hours of editing it after to do this. So I'm sorry.
I know. I hate that you have to do all that. Next time we'll make it perfect all the way through, like no editing required. Although I'm sure you're gonna sparkle it up.
I'll sparkle it. So what are you gonna do the rest of your day?
I'm gonna take care of some shit around here, do a little work, maybe see Alex later. Not sure. It's Cinco de Mayo, by the way.
Hello, I love her.
I will. I'll say hello for you.
Too. When we first met, I was like, I was like, it's the whole to have people that you connect with is very important because
yeah,
I wanna make some fucking good shit.
You know what? And then we totally need to do another one of these because that whole issue of like people's mental health during COVID, I feel like that's we could do a whole show on that, for one thing. Yeah. And then also a whole show on like moving forward. And also our pasts, present, our future.
This is what we were gonna do. You need to start it up, get your Zoom, do your podcast, and I'll come on the show.
Okay, we'll get you'll be on my show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually offline later on I can ask you for some like how to actually certain things about starting it that you might be able to give me some insight.
I think it's super simple. You get the Zoom, you invite somebody on that you like and that you connect with and that has something to say. And you just and
just put it on YouTube?
Well, I use iMovie to edit.
Okay.
So it's super simple. I don't know if you're into like it's not like bells and whistles. You're not like doing like ILM special effects here.
No, I know about editing and stuff. That part wouldn't be a problem. I guess the part that I don't know about is like getting your podcast on like Spotify and like
I won't worry about that yet.
So just basically start putting it on you have YouTube be the channel at the beginning. Yeah, just to get I think that's a great idea.
Because then you can promote it on Facebook and Instagram. I used to cut these episodes like that they would fit on Instagram, but then I think I got flagged a little bit too much for language and the smoking of the weeds and the pots and the beer drinkings.
You're gonna get in trouble for that for sure.
So they kind of like blocked me for a little bit. I wouldn't dare say shadow ban because I'm not that guy, but like I'm not big enough to actually be shadow banned. But they did do something where I was off Instagram. I couldn't because I was loading everything. I made everything an hour, so it fit on that bracket.
Okay. Well, that is smart.
Then they stopped doing it, so then we opened up to longer formats like this one, where we're going way over.
Yeah. Well, it was a great time.
Allotment.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Well, this has been fucking great.
It has been. Yeah.
Have fun with the rest of your day. Did we talk about what you're gonna do with the rest of your day?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so I'll see you soon. Let's talk off camera, and we'll get a show. Is Thursday a good day?
It can be. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Because the reason why I asked that because is the Hollywood Bowl has a show here. Like on the weekends, it sucks with parking. So I would want to do the show where we can do it where people can park in that parking lot.
Okay, well, let's talk about that offline.
All right. Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers, man.
Stone. Are you on Instagram? Do you want people to find you or not?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Mike Stone USA. And my YouTube channel with my 48-hour films is called, the channel is called Amusing, like Amusing Productions, but it's spelled UMMUSING. I sent you, I think, the link to it in that email, so I guess if you want to throw that on screen. Otherwise, Mike Stone USA, you can find me on the gram. I don't use it that much, and I don't have that many followers. I'm not that famous yet. But, it's really what's in here that matters.
It is what's in here, and let's
Keep it that way.
This has been great. See, that wasn't that bad, right? That was easy.
It was so great. No, you made me feel really comfortable. Great job. You're getting top
thank you.
marks from me.
Oh, and vice versa. But start that show up immediately, and you'll learn more in 2 seconds than I could tell you in 12 hours.
Okay, that's good advice.
Like that's in the doing. The joy is in the doing, and you're a technical guy as well, so you're gonna.
Yeah, I think the technical stuff should be no problem.
With my mint julep. All right, I'll see you soon, man.
All right, see you later. Have a great rest of your day. Talk soon. Bye.
Yay.
Bye.
All right, I'm out of BrettWoods.com, Instagram, BrettWoods too. Oh yeah, signing off from Hollywood, California. You've been great. Thank you. Did you make it through the whole thing? God bless you. Remember, every day is a gift. I'll see you in the present. Good night.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
What's that, pal? You're screwing just like a Chinaman.